Hello, everyone. Yes, I let Valeria close the door. All right, so think we're ready to start. I am gonna try and keep this mic that far from where I am. It's probably gonna sound roomy as hell. I haven't tried it. If it was late night, probably we would go for something like, you know, something like something more like this. I'm thinking that's probably gonna sound better. The issue with having a mic this close, if you're not a professional game streamer, is that you're unable to effectively type on the keyboard without hitting your microphone all the time. But I think this is gonna sound better because it's all like late night radio and stuff and whatever. So I had to get out to ship a small package. I took every attention and care possible to keep people like 300 kilometers, away from me. We just went there, shipped it at a pack station. We didn't use the post office. We, washed hands before, wash hands after, avoid contacts, especially if there's older people. We just there's a good thing in Berlin that there's a lot of bike lanes, and because there's not a lot of people around today and in these days, you can like borrow the bike lane for 30 seconds while you're crossing against somebody else. So we live in an area where there's not a lot of people, so it's kind of doable, but it's still better to use a couple more meters, but I found out you have to be careful in have what's called situational awareness, because when you try and avoid things, you usually do things you never do, like you cross into the bike lane and you're overthinking something, and you're just there might be actual bikes going because it's their lane usually, or you want to switch, I don't know, side of the road because there's a lot of there's an elderly home, or there's a elementary school or something like that, and you say like, all right, let's cross the road, boom. Oh, is it normal that I see all black at the moment? Oh my god, no, it's not normal. Not normal. How is that? What browser are you using, Davide? And also, I'm speaking English because there's people here that don't speak Italian. But if during the whatever the seminar, the masterclass, you are not hearing something right, or do you have a question, feel free to write. Sorry. And Valeria's here. So we have time. Nobody's going anywhere, so you can try and fix it. You shouldn't be seeing black stuff. Shouldn't be seeing black screen. I'm on Twitch right now. You can see my page here, and I can see myself. I can even feedback the crap out of this feed, and I can see myself. I can even luckily it's on headphones, so. Man, I do sound fine. I don't want to be, advertising stuff just blatantly. I'm not a music store, but this Rode anti-USB is fantastic. We've been doing voiceover for the studio now that are here in the at home, and Valeria is doing some voiceovers for Renault. And the guys, they didn't. I mean, so far they haven't noticed that we're not doing it in the studio. So. I see a lot of people coming in. Davide, if you have issues, let me know what browser do you have. I can tell you one thing, that when I used my phone, but it's an old iPhone 6, people, I do have a very old iPhone. You wouldn't say, right? That's like the crappiest piece of gear I have, and it is that. And when I opened Twitch through my phone, I get a black screen lately. I'm thinking that Twitch updated their own codecs or stuff. There's something going on. Oh, now it's good. Fantastic. Also, there's some good stuff here. The good news is this video will be available offline for you that are here. So don't worry if something skips or is just not working. I know I reduced the quality of my stream just to make sure that people who have like a slower internet can kind of get it through nicely. it's all, it's gonna be all what is it, like a desktop kind of stuff and things. So it doesn't really matter that much, right? But the good thing is that this is going to be available offline, so you can rewatch it and it won't skip, because if the live stream to you is skipping for some reason, because maybe in Italy everybody is on the internet right now, or maybe you live in a rural area. I did when I was in Italy for 5 years, and internet was like, now it works. Oh, no, now it doesn't work. Now it works. Now it doesn't work anymore. So the good thing is that this is gonna be available offline for you, so you can rewatch it. It's good to be here. It's good. We'll do the raffle. It's good to win the license. That's for sure. And but you'll be able to watch it again, and there won't be any skipping or stuff. So I try to reduce the bandwidth as much as possible to keep it still looking good. But I know that Twitch does not allow the live stream to be resized. And this is a weird thing. It used to do it, and now it doesn't anymore. So you were able to scale it down. So if my resolution was too high, or there was no reason for your iPad, for example, to be streaming at that high, you could set it to a lower resolution. But now it just doesn't happen. You are only bound to the highest quality that I'm streaming at. So let's get it. I imported the tracks here. There's quite a lot of them, and we'll be working in Studio One. As I said, Studio One for me is not Pro Tools. This means that because we're home, this is my home computer, amazing PC that I've built. I'm a nerd for building computers as well, so we might talk about gaming in some months or something. When the coronavirus thing is gone, we might still be meeting for playing, I don't know what, maybe Crysis 3, Doom Eternal, the games that are kind of out now. But on this computer, I do some work that I bring from the studio, but I don't have the bazillion fantastic amount of plugins that I have in the studio. I just don't want to. And the reason for that is that I use this platform mostly for post-production and for composing as well. So because I do it for composing and for scoring small stuff, I hope, maybe in one year it will become big stuff, but usually smaller things for video games and stuff. It's usually not necessary for me to just have a whole palette of stuff, of plugins and things. Also, when I compose, I don't want to defer things to mixing. I want it to sound good as I think it should from the start. The game developers also then take the mixes and kind of re-edit them, because it depends on how they encode them. So it's a different thing from mixing, in the studio. But the thing that I wanted to say was that in Studio One, I'm not that fast as I am in Pro Tools, which is fun for two reasons. The first, my train of thought is kind of better. You can follow me. Sometimes I tend to go fast, and I don't go that fast. So it's helping me being more educational in a way. The other thing is that I'm fun to watch sometimes, because I make like the most clumsy mistakes and things just go boom or whatever. I also like to use some plugins that I have, and just those. And it just became a habit for me to think Studio One with some plugins. Unfortunately, you will see that there's not 100% compatibility with the plugins that I use in Studio One. It was better in Studio 3 and in 4, and I love this software. I love Studio One, but in 4, I don't know why or how. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't happen to be as compatible as it was. So there's some shortcuts. I hope, we won't be crashing and stuff, but it could happen. So it's all good, because it's live and it's uncensored, and it's still gonna be safe for work. I promise. I won't go swearing in all the languages I know. So this session here is called Knockout. This song I received from I don't know who. I don't think he's connected or she's connected here right now, but I think it used to be somebody I studied with, that had some lessons with me here in Berlin. So it could be some German guy. I don't know. They sent me these tracks. They brought them to the studio and they found them in a folder. And I think that this song was available for free for mixing. on some website or something like that. Like this genuine song, honest to God, you can find everywhere. So there's no royalty issues as long as you credit the author, don't steal crap, just be correct and fair. But it was a song that was meant to be either for a mixing contest or something like that. So you can put your hands on it and you'll be able in the signature honesty and transparency that Fuseroom is famous for now after all these years, you'll be able to hear 1,000 gazillion mixes of this song, and you're gonna be able to say like, wow, like what Alberto did really, really sucks. I'm not gonna watch any mixing masterclass from him any longer because this guy's gonna ruin my career. That's perfectly fine. You learn also by inverting the sign, by multiplying by -1, sometimes you get useful values if you get the comparison. So it's all good. What I want you to be here for is to be critical in your mindset that some things that I might do can be interesting for you to try on your stuff. So as long as I'm sensitivizing you, and that's probably not an English word, that's going to work. Don't worry about that. Also, our mixing setup is entirely in the box. So there's no analog, there's no people that building expensive gear. It's just digital in the box stuff. Some plugins you might know, some plugins you might not know. I'm thinking you are probably not gonna know any of the plugins I use. The reason for this is if you're younger than me, I know Preben is younger than me. He's like 16 or something. Check him out. Preben is from Denmark and he's in one of the most amazing bands at the 80s at scene. And the band was called Kane. And now he has this Sergeant Kane project where they're reviving their own, songs with the look at the vintage and kind of a new thing. And they come every year and they record vocals at our studio and we have a lot of fun. They're the most amazing people to be around with. So, the guy is definitely younger than me because he was half my age in the 80s. So how older can he be right now, right? But I guarantee you he's very young inside. He's also young outside. I mean, the average age now is 115 or something. So anyway, I digress. So what I was saying, so most of you are younger people than Preben and I. I'm gonna use you, Preben, because it's just like you're like my Mississippi. The Americans used to say that when there's somebody that they can lean on for something. And there's plugins that you might not be aware of, and it's perfectly fine. If I bring plugins that you don't know, you don't have to go run and freaking buy them because I use them. Luckily, I'm not famous, so you'll be like, whatever. But if it's a famous guy and he uses one plugin or she uses one plugin, they go like, oh my God, I gotta get it, So the good thing, if you don't know these plugins, is that you'll be forced to think about the parameters and the stuff that I'm doing. And these I really like. When I throw master classes at people, I sometimes like to throw carve bolts on this and have plugins that people don't know because I want them to focus on the sound rather than on, the interface or whatever. So this song, which comes amazingly colored by the artists at Studio One, is made of quite a lot of tracks. So we have 3 kicks, we have 3 snares, we actually have 5 snares, we have, can I count? We have 6 snares. We have 1 clap, we have 1 hi-hat closed, 1 hi-hat open, ride, we have a hit, we have cymbal 1, 2, 3, bass, piano, synth lead, synth pad 2, synth saw, synth fill. Look at that, synth fill, FXs, tubas, horns, violins, Vox intro 2, that there's a load of vocals. So the first thing I would do with my clumsy way of working is that I would try and enforce the way I work in Pro Tools for tracks. So the ugly brown that I'm introducing you to, and oh my God, this is way too strong. All right, and the purple for bass, and all of these are the keys. Let me see, keys, we're gonna roll with these people here. And man, that's a dark color. We could spend hours on the colors as well, but then there's some kind of brownish thing for the orchestra, and then we got the vocals. All right, so we have intros, we have the lead vocals. These guys I usually put in gold, but I have to change my palette because there's no gold in here. What's the closest we have to gold? Yellow, I can't use yellow. I know you want to say that, but let's use this. This is actually military green, whatever. So here we got two, okay, so here we got more leads. Oh, look at that. More leads. There you go. This is even more leads. I should be paying attention to this because I could at the same time. All right. And then we got more backings. So I know that these are kind of ordered the right way. I know these guys kind of did it right. I kind of like how they ordered the thing. But let's go to... Is this that? Yes. So now, because I don't... I think Alt-Z, people. Let's see if this is the right shortcut. Boom! It is. One of the 3 shortcuts in this file that I know. So as you can see, I have the drums on top, which should be brown in my Pro Tools. The pinky thing is bass. Then we have keyboards. I actually like to make the piano because I do play piano. So for me, it's always like, you know, it's gotta be super important. There it is. What is this? Public bathroom green color. Then we have deep sky blue, whatever, synth stuff. Then we have the orchestra in brown, and then we have leads, and then we have some backings, and then we have more leads, and then more backings. So we kind of did it. We have the colors down. So we should listen to this and make sure that you know, we're able to listen to it. Let me check how the mix is doing. I don't want it to be too loud, but I should be plenty loud already with the mic. So the first thing you do when you get a mix is you listen to it after it's important. You know, that's at least what should happen. So all the faders are at 0. Let's listen to how this thing sounds from, I don't know, till the first chorus. Sorry for the click. Let's take it out.
Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. 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 My back's against the rope, I ain't letting hope, no. For the count, you can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hook, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me knocked out.
Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in. Call Bobby cause Philly spitting that dope again. I got my back against the ropes trying to rope them in. Like oh my, I'm the coldest in charge. It's easy for them to hate when you be going this hard. It's funny, I tell them all you can meet me in hell itching. Get you on the phone and start talking like Mel Gibson. Knock me out, I think that's rare in my sport. He's a gangster that's just trying to whip his hair back and forth. I think it's time for you to pick again. Trying to hit you with that knockout blow.
Trying to knock me out. My back's against the rope.
That's the chorus. I mean, you don't need me to explain.
For the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hook, your jab, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me knocked out.
The way I eat these beats, you probably think it's lunchtime. Soon as I spit, I bet you wonder why he's unsigned. The Holyfield of rap, see how I throw these punchlines. But while you biting like Tyson, I'm still holding the crown. Plus I'm raping the game, that's why I'm still holding it. And you can't hold me back like your arm's gone. Get on the track like I'm Armstrong. up with this new shit so I can keep my fans up. That's why I hold the belt like I'm trying to keep my pants up. Hands up, never drop your guard when I'm around. I'm the champ, you a rookie.
I'll probably have you listen to it because it's quite a long beat part.
Like I hit you with some punches and some hooks. Yeah, you know I never quit, never been a towel thrower. So you can stop the rushing like Rocky Balboa.
Knock me out.
Chorus
My
3.
back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hook, your jab, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt so easy.
And then there's an amazing middle eight here.
Knocked out. Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me. Ain't no standing toe to toe. The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that you know. You see, I came from nothing. Watch me turn to something. Can you feel the heat like the ring wasn't enough? The stakes are high for me.
Love this song. I have to say that. I don't know if this band is a record. Chorus 4.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope. No, not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hook, your jab, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me knocked out.
All right, and we got to the end. So I turned on some lights in it's not too cloudy, but it got cloudy, so we need lights. So I love this song. Love it. The thing that I think it's well recorded, like incredibly well recorded, like, there's a lot of electronic stuff, but the vocals are perfectly fine. There's nothing that I hear that is wrong. There's one thing that people that studied with people I either studied with or studied with me directly are gonna go like, oh my God, he's gonna say it. And there it comes. When you have everything at zero, faders wise, you can't understand. The rappers would say shit, but we're not gonna say that. You're not gonna understand anything. So this one thing I really do not like, although I understand it's a pretty common thing. It happens because people record stuff at different studios, at different sessions, at different levels, at different calibrations and stuff. So every time a singer comes in or an MC comes in and they say like, all right, we're going to record the piano. All right, we're going to record the backing vocals and stuff. The studio has some kind of balance. And then all they care is about throwing the files into it. And sometimes it's just about how loud things are. So if every track is really fat and really using all of the beats and stuff, then it's going to sound better because the resolution is better. In theory, yes. In practice, though, we're going to have all the resolution we want in 24 bits, even if we stay a little bit lower in volume. So it's clear that whoever assembled this had no interest in producing a rough mix that could be listenable at zero, at faders, at unity gain. Faders at zero, I say, right? I immediately had to turn down some faders because the synthesizers were crazy high. The lead vocals were super low. How many of you had this issue where you had the vocals were dying, the drums are so and so, the guitars are super loud, and the synthesizers are even louder than that, and there should be some backing vocal, and people go like, where is this track? And it's like, well, it's there, it's buried somewhere in there. So I never like this way of sending mixes to people, although it's 80% what happens. I would say maybe 70 in the last years, but it's what happens. People, for different reasons, this happens. But if you send something to a studio, I would suggest you to make sure that when the faders are at zero, the mix has some kind of way of resembling what you would like the engineer to do. That's super important, because now, if it's a hip-hop band, we make jokes about hip-hop bands with hip-hop bands because they make jokes about themselves. They say, we're going to come with the whole family. So when there's a hip-hop session in the studio, it's going to be like 54 people, which we cannot do now with coronavirus being spread out. We can't. Definitely we can't. Even one guy, we don't want it. But They usually are the people that come with their whole family, the whole gang and the cousin and the aunts and everybody, you know. So these people are going to be there and they're going to be telling you more than enough about what they want. But what if it's an online job, you know? So you need people to be able to send stuff and the other guy to be able to listen to it. So this is the first and most important thing that I say about this session, is that I am forced to lower the faders here. And I'm totally kind of not liking this, because I would not want to move the faders around and make the bass more, you know, powerful, and all the synths and all the stuff around there. So we have a couple ways of doing that. Sometimes what I like to do is I like to trim stuff. So, for example, we can see that the synthesizers are incredibly high. I don't know what that, we went like -15. So something you can do in your session is you can take the simplest plugin of all, which I think is called, in this amazing, and here comes my slowliness. It's not called gate, it's not called compressor, it's called one thing that I will tell you in a second. It's called mix tool. Ba-ba-boom. So something like this is invaluable. In consoles, analog consoles, some people out there still use those. There's a little trim, a little knob on the top of the console, which is called trim. And it's like a haircut. You can give your track an initial haircut, you know, and just start out from there. It's not going to be the perfect cut, but it's going to get rid of all the excess hair that the track has. So we could drop it -12, you know, for example. I see we went around -14. I would be generous and kind of go -14, because the synthesizers are going to be so much. So if you go -14, we don't need to drop this guy up, right? Because we can just solo this, go maybe somewhere more interesting. Let's see. Like, for example, this part. Let me drop the needle around here. Synthesizers. All right. He's not playing, obviously. Who's this guy? Synth lead. Where are you? Where are you, synth lead? Here. Right? So it's okay. We can keep it there. We can bring all of these synths, which I conveniently had dropped, you know, in the same color, and we just go mix tool, 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 mix tool. You got it right. There's the piano we also kind of trimmed around -5 or something, so we're gonna mix tool this as well. And we're gonna do maybe -6. Now, I'm kind of a numerical kind of guy sometimes, so I don't like I like the decimals, but sometimes I just go rough, like 14 down, 12 down, you know, 6, 3, like integers. Whatever, it doesn't really make much of a sense. So I would say let's drop these 3 people again at -14. The vocals we're not gonna trim. Reason being, they were like kind of, you know, weak, right, in a way. Are we gonna trim the bass? Maybe not. Are we gonna trim the drums? Maybe not. But at least now, if we take the solo out of this place and we listen to the chorus.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop.
Now, there's a super cool button in Studio One, which is this little power button here guy, which is activate all inserts or deactivate all inserts. It's amazing for master classes and for showing off, because when you have the client, you can go like, look, your mix, it used to be like this before, and you turn everything off and the guy is like, you know, being blown away by everything wrong. Okay, but now it does sound like this. And people go like, wow, it's the best mix we've ever heard. And they go home and they listen to Eminem, whatever, and they call you. But until then, you're fine. You know, you can run away to the Cayman Islands or whatever. They might not find you. But they're hip-hop people, so they will find you. So I'm going to engage this, and we're going to hear the difference just by trimming the session. No mix, just trim, right?
Count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop.
It's pretty clear. Like, it goes from like, oh my god, this will be impossible to mix, to I ain't that bad. You know, I could get away with just a few things. So My idea when I wasn't used to this is that when you listen to the first, what we had at 0 volume, I was like, holy moly, this needs a lot of mixing. And when you drop the synths down, you go like, okay, maybe it doesn't really need a lot of mixing, which is mostly what I kind of think. But it's hip hop, so processing, it's gotta, it's gotta go there somehow. Also remember something, we have not moved the pans whatsoever. That's the second thing. I would also like sometimes to have people send me stereo tracks of some mono important stuff and pan them where they want them, or at least send me the session where this raw thing is panned. Because sometimes you wouldn't believe it, but sending something that the artist has listened to on his left ear, on their left ear, and then putting it on the right ear, they're gonna say like, well, something wrong about the session. So, and then you, all right, you flipped this tuba, whatever, can we please put it left? If you put it back left, then everything has to be switched somehow, because maybe the tuba clashes with something else. So here we have everything centered. And the second thing I would do would be exactly that, would be to take administrative decisions, because the band is not here. So nobody's here, not even my cat. Is she around? No. She's in the garden? No. My cat is not even in the garden, so we're safe. We can pan whatever we want. So let's go to the chorus first. I don't know. I see, well, there's not a lot of them here. You see, we see these blobs sometimes. It's kind of fine. I think there was a way to have this height of the session be, changed. But here, for example, we have this guy. Okay. People that had the misfortune of studying with me so far, they know that I wanna usually go very extreme. I don't like 30, 15, whatever. I usually try and say like, you get out of my way, you get out of my way, you get out of my way. So it might not be the wisest thing to do, but I would drop these synths. You see that? Okay, this is already stereo.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take.
Starting to take stuff out of my way, right? Just randomly for now, then we'll see. I just want to hear how the stereo versus the mono thing happens. And I want to see the orchestra as well. Now I know the violins, where are they in the orchestra? Not where I was placing, right? Where I usually left. We're gonna go tubas left, horns right, horns left, violins left. Or actually, we're gonna use the horns to connect the two. Let's go that far. So this so far is what I called, and what a lot of people call, LCR, left, center, right. It's extreme because it comes from the old days where you didn't have 10, 15, you didn't have a knob that you could turn. Like the old Neve 88, it's got just, the front and rear bus, and then you have like left, center, right. And when you want something in the center, you engage left and right, basically. That's sort of how it works. And then you have the center channel. So you couldn't go into some other things. Now, because there's no reverbs, I guarantee you it sounds weird. It also sounds weird to me. But I guarantee you that once we start putting things in context, the left, right, and center is gonna make a lot more sense. So let me see the verses.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count.
As long as we have one connection, which is the synth pad 1, we're good on the stereo field. Also because we're listening to headphones, so obviously I don't have my amazing Bowers and Wilkins, I don't have the amazing Focals, I don't have the amazing Proax, I'm at home, I don't have any speaker. But I do have these headphones, which I kinda wing it, kind of right usually. When I bring mixes back to the studio, I'm like, that close. Never perfect, but that close. And the principles I'm teaching you, it's not that you have to buy the same headphones, otherwise it doesn't work, you know. But I would do this. I would definitely do this.
Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Now there's another thing we have to fix, which is the backing vocals, right? So let's go where there's a lot of them.
My back's against the ropes.
So this is the
I
lead.
ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count.
These are doubles. These were not gonna move. And these, again, the band is not here, but there would be a lot of discussion going on in the preliminary session. Like, how do you want it? How do you do it? So when they're done smoking, they come back into the studio and they go like, you know, I wanted that and that, and they might be able to explain it somehow. So the doubles I'm not gonna move. I want it very centered and very present. But the backings, yes.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count.
So we have this amazing falsetto, which we might not have that wide. It doesn't matter. But for now, let me see.
Knock me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you got.
All right, this is fine for me. Let's go back here.
The jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. While bitches hit me with ass.
Right, so we have a main, which is this lead, and then we have the two backings. We might try and do this.
Dick the jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. While bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home and got a
Right, then there's a single vocal here.
Get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my
Yeah, I would move it slightly on one side. Let's go to the middle part.
Holding the crown, plus I'm raping.
All right, then there's this MC. Now he's gonna be the super highlight.
Up before you see me knock
Guess
out.
it's crunch time. The way I eat these beats, you probably think it's lunchtime. Soon as I spit, I bet you wonder why he's unsigned.
And then two more
I hope
comes
you feel
in.
the rap. See how I throw these punchlines? But while you biting like Tyson, I'm still holding the crown. Plus I'm raping the game. That's why I'm still holding it. And you can't hold me back like your arm's gone. Get on the track like I'm Armstrong. Up with this new shit so I can keep my fans up. That's why I hold the belt like I'm trying to keep my pants up.
All right, we could go that way. Let's try and not go very far out. And there's a reason why I wouldn't do that. I would tell the band, look, you are approaching chorus 3. So people have been listening to this song for now not that long. It's only, what is it, 2 minutes 34. It's already very long for any label, but for us normal people, it's okay. So my recommendation would be, okay, why don't we use this middle section here to destroy the sense of width in a way, so that we can get back here to have a lot what feels to be a wider kind of chorus or somehow. So I would sacrifice some of the openness of these two for this. Then when we go to the chorus,
It'll take more than that.
that's our core. That's the thing that's gonna work. It has to be awesome. It's the chorus, but it doesn't bring in any new features. There's the usual bass, the usual piano. There's that synth lead here. This guy is kind of prioritized in my head, so I'm gonna use purplish. So here we go. Start painting, Alberto, that's fine. So now that we have these carefree, women hygiene purple, we can move on to the next part. The nomenclature is fundamentally important. So then there's another middle section, which is why I love this song. They were able to bring in, I think, very interesting stuff between the choruses. So it's not a one-trick pony, this song. It has quite a lot of features while keeping the core structure of it, right? So this part,
Knocked out. 1, 2, ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me, ain't no standing toe to toe. The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that you know. You see, I came from nothing. Watch me turn to something. Can you feel the heat like the ring? Wasn't enough. The stakes are high for me. There ain't no stopping me. Watch me flow like a
I would do something like this.
My back's against the ropes and I
right? So easy going. What I would send the band as a first mix is not this, but I'm like, the idea in my mind would be to keep the choruses wide and to keep the middle parts not mono, but kind of sacrifice around 50% of the depth, just to make sure that We just keep expanding and contracting, expanding like a universe kind of thing. So we go chorus is wide, verses are tight, wide, tight, wide, tight, because the musical content is great. They change vocal type, they go from male to female, they still keep the a cappella with the different, you know, female vocals or male vocals. So it's kind of interesting that way. But you know, some of you might already have died of boredom. This is, however, with age, when you be as old as I am, I don't know, not as old as Preben, but you know, as old as I am, you will realize that this is 80% of the mix. If you have the stage in your head and if you have the sound of the whole panorama thing of how things are gonna behave, it's gonna be a lot easier. So that's usually where I start. Now, the issue here is that I like the pans. I think maybe we could move, how about the drums? Maybe we could move some hi-hat a little bit.
Like I'm trying to keep my pants up, hands up, never drop your guard when I'm around.
Just a little bit, because sometimes I really don't like this wide movement. All right, let's take a look at the cymbals actually, because cymbals are usually like multiple mono stuff from drum machines. So I think, right? There we go. So these guys, they don't make sense unless they're like far out. Look at me. I won a Grammy just for panning the cymbals, people. But I think there's a third cymbal as well. Missed it. No. Where's the other? Oh, hit maybe. Right on. Okay, so this guy has a lot of lows, so we're gonna keep it here in the center. And then there's a ride somewhere, and I saw it. I just paved myself in a corner because things are so small. And I have to pretend that my eyesight is still good.
You see, I came from nothing. Watch me turn to something. Can you feel the heat like the ring? Wasn't enough?
All right, I'm already thinking some cool things that we could do, but let's see here. All right, they have this. That's a single hit of the cymbal. Where do they have the ride? Okay, this guy. So they have these, but they also have the hi-hat. So how about this? And this is mostly drummer's perspective that I'm thinking, which is for some people is super weird. I'm thinking the ride is left and the hi-hat is right. So that's why I want to split the frequencies at around like high frequencies, kind of a little bit here and a little bit there. Now, we do not have any buses at the moment. So if this was an analog console, we would be consuming a lot of power, and you know, nobody would be happy about how much power we're using. But Valeria's here. Hello. Hello. Hello, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Hello. So that's the drums. They go all out to the main channel because you can see that word out. That means out, means going out. But we also have the possibility of splitting things around. So I would never, ever go out of the mix like this, straight out. Notice also, I think that in the loudest moments, we don't clip. Man would not clip. This is professional clip. This has bought my trust. Your trust in me. We're hitting -9 or something just because we lowered those synths, which were the only thing that kind of was sticking out. So we do have headroom, and be very careful with Studio One. I think that there's a trick to your brain that when the faders are so small, you're gonna think that everything is either not, and it's no sexual reference, it's just how it is. Maybe it is, but I don't know how our mind works. That you have to decide. But because the faders are so small, you're gonna think that you know, you're not, you know, empowered enough. So you can make them bigger. You know, you can make them as big as you want, which is the thing that I like. It's kind of adaptive. So the problem is that I like to use a single interface, and sometimes it's fun to not have them. But let's find like a sweet spot for this stuff. Right on. Like something like this could be fine. Right? Little bit here, a little bit there. So this already gives us a better idea of like, oh, okay, no, we're pretty far out. there. So, and here we are a little bit lower than I used to be. I used to be here, so maybe we are clipping. Hold on.
Ain't gonna stop at all.
No, we're not.
You can throw your hook.
Oh, we are. We have 3 samples out. Okay. I had the volume kind of being put a little bit down because I was fearing to hit you very hard. So that's okay. We are clipping. Bye. I'm fired. It's okay. It's all good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open some... What is this? Ah, okay. Valeria is showing the house. I think we're not selling our house, people. Everything's good. We don't own it, so we can't sell it. We're safe. Bye. So drums. So we're going to send the channels to separate buses. And the reason for this is that I want things to be in control of groups and stuff. So let me save. I'm keeping save. I can highlight all of these, then right click and say add bus channel. So if I go bus channel, this guy's going to be drums. Right? Now everything is being routed to, you see here, didn't quite work. So this is going to drums now. So all of the drums go to drums. Bass is going to go to, because I made a mistake. I have to use add bus for selected channel, obviously. This is going to be bass. There's going to be synthesizers. We're going to put the piano with the synthesizer. And we're going to call these keys. The most important bus of all the time, people. And then we're going to put another one here that's going to be orchestra. It never fits the console, so we use orc. And then we're going to use the lead vocals. We're going to put all of the leads. And this is going to become a mistake. You might realize that this is going to become a mistake in 2 seconds. We are going to... And in fact, I'm not going to do it. We're going to split the lead in more people. So we're going to use... Let me check the intro, people.
Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Oh man, I love this too.
Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope. No, not going down for the count.
All right. So these people here, they're definitely gonna be lead 1. So we call LDV1. Then we're gonna take these 2. We're gonna call them LDV intro with the lowercase I. It always works. Then we're gonna have, when I have one singer, I usually do this as well. I have lead vocals chorus, lead vocals verse, lead vocals pre-chorus, whatever. In hip hop, you usually have different people singing. So it's kind of, it's obvious that, I mean, maybe not obvious, but it could happen that it doesn't work. What you bus for one singer doesn't work for the other singer. So, we make the buses anyway. But I like to have more control instead of automating too much stuff. So then we have lead vocal 2, which should be this. These people here. Awesome. So these I'm going to treat the same. We're going to go here. We're going to call, there's actually this other 4th guy, which we're going to bus here to LDV2. Then there's this section here.
The crown, plus I'm raping the game. That's why I'm still holding it. And you can't hold.
And it's still another 4. So we're going to make this LDV3. And then there's the 5th part.
Outcomes looking grim for you. I sure hope that you know. You see, I came from nothing. Watch me turn to something. Can you feel the heat like the
Right, so she starts here.
What I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me.
Right, so I think it's mostly these 3. We're gonna do LDV4. Things might change while I mix it. And then we have all of the backings. So honestly, I would put these all together. Who did we miss here? This person here we missed. Who is it? Well, this should be LDV2, right?
I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home, and got a problem cause
Fantastic. Who's this guy? This is also LDV2. So you can check it. There should not be any out. There should always be, Okay, so these have to be BGVs. BGVs. And sometimes I use more than one BGVs. It could be that we also do this in this time. I don't know. Now we have these people here. Should be LDV4. All right. Now we make a check. Do we have anything going to out? Trust me, this is... I don't understand the function of the mix tool. Yeah, no worries. I'll tell you. It's very easy. Let me just check first, Davide, that the drums and everything. Okay, we no longer have anything going to the out channel. Just the buses are going there. So Davide asked, I don't understand the function of the mix tool. It's very easy. The mix tool is a fancy name in Presonus Studio One. It's a sort of a utility kind of plugin. It's very simple. It only has a gain and some functions for, inverting phase and that. I use it to lower the audio at its very beginning. So if you use Pro Tools or if you use Ableton Live or even Cubase, even here, you can gain stage the waveform. It's essentially the exact same thing. So you can do it like that. Sometimes I do it. So you can take the waveform and, say like, I don't even know where it is here because I never do it, but you can go audio and instead of normalizing, you can say like decrease volume, right? Alt numerical pad minus. So if the bass was too loud, I can go like this, beep, 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 and I'm lowering the volume of this guy. It's exactly, let me undo my moves. It's exactly the same thing. The reason why I use the mix tool is that you might ask, why didn't you use the fader here? I don't want to use the fader because the fader is the final section before I'm going out to some other channel or to the mix bus. I don't want to use the fader because by the time I use the fader, the signal in this inserts area is still hot. So we still have a lot of hot water and we take the temperature down at the very end of the pipe, right? And the problem is if you use analog gear, and plugins are a little bit more tolerant, but if you use analog gear in this first cauldron, in this first part, you still have a lot of hot water, and analog gear does not really like a lot of hot water unless you do it on purpose. But the levels are, if they're gonna be too high, your equalizers are gonna crunch, the compressors are gonna overcompress, or you're not gonna be able to use them wisely. So what I like to do is, as soon as I can, take the audio and lower it in volume. So this also leaves me the capacity to move the fader as a final adjustment. And if I was here, you can look at the numbers. Okay, maybe they are a little bit, small. I can help you out, people, by doing this. Hold on. This should help you out now that we're getting into more of the mixing part. This is going to be a fader that is measured logarithmically. So you see when I'm down here, it takes like 3 pixels to go from minus 36 to minus 48. And it takes like a little, like two, look at the numbers there, 36, 37. The more I move up here, the more resolution I have. So what I like about this is that I can make the final adjustments at the very end, and I can use this function up here, in this case, the mix tool, to lower the volume at the start. So if I put a compressor here now, the compressor is already having a lower volume. If I put a compressor without the mix tool, the compressor is going to get the full volume and it might not do what I want to do. Now in digital, you have many ways to do it and you could get away even by not doing this. But it's a good method, especially if you have plugins that emulate analog gear, although they're more tolerant than analog gear. Anything that emulates analog is not 100% close to what the analog does in terms of dynamics. Because if a normal person puts a digital plugin and it behaves like analog, they're gonna think it's wrong, So it's exactly gain staging. Yes, the function is basically gain staging it. Yes. So what's happening is we are basically gain staging this thing. Yes. So we're gain staging it at the very beginning instead of at the very end, because I have to solve the volume problem as soon as possible. So that's the reason why this is happening. So if it's not clear, I can explain it to you, later on. Don't worry, I can write it to you. It's easy, but it's just so I fix the issue at the very beginning of the chain, not at the very end, because then I'm gonna have problems for stuff. So the synthesizers were too loud, and we are, we're lowering it. That's as simple as that. So, but we're doing it at the very first stage. So now that everything is at a level and pan and buses that we like and things, I can take the solo here out. I have another issue here, which is drums, bass, keys, orchestra, lead vocals 1, 2, 3, 4, and BGVs. They have no color first. We're gonna make them yellow. And they're all going out to out. I don't want this to happen. I want this to go to yet another bus, which is gonna be green. And this channel is going to be the one thing that unites them all. So this thing is gonna be called mix bus. So now we have single tracks that go to their groups, that go to a mix bus, that finally go out. All right, awesome, David, fantastic. So, but if you have questions like that keep going on, just take notes, don't worry. And you can watch this video again later, and maybe you have more questions, just write me. It's no problem. I will answer that. You can always refer back to the video when I'm doing this. But I'd like to answer them as soon as you have questions, everybody, because obviously this is going to be better. So now if I press play, it's going to sound exactly the same as before. But I can do this. Maybe. Who's singing here? So, Studio One has this way of working which is different from Pro Tools. If I solo a group, he allows me, I don't know why, it's a Studio One. It allows me to hear every track that's before this. Now, usually the issue is when you do this in Pro Tools, you're not gonna hear anything. So if I solo the bass, I can still hear the group, because Studio One is intelligent enough to solo the group of what I have. So if it was Pro Tools, we would be in a mess of like, oh, I have to do this and that. But you see, it's similar to Cubase, I think, similar to Ableton Live. I can do it backwards or not. So this is kind of good now, right? I can take the drums, I can take the bass, the keys, the orchestra, everything else. So where do you think I'm going to start from? This could be an interesting. I will not go until some of you have written where I will start from, just for fun. Where do you think I'm going to start mixing? What is the first thing that I will address, in your opinion, for example? Is it gonna be the drums? Is it gonna be the bass? Is it gonna be the synths? Is it gonna be, all right, bass and drums? Okay, Preben Wolf from Denmark says bass and drums. Let's see. I need at least another guy to see if this is corroborated by some other country. It's like a round table of world powers. So Preben says we should do bass and drums, or maybe not. He doesn't think that, but he thinks maybe I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna wait for some other answer in 3, 2, like an auction, 3, 2, 1, whatever, and then I'm gonna reply. Nobody wants to say that. All right, it's a good theory. It's a good theory, and I would have done it from bass and drums. But maybe years ago I would have. But honestly, I'm gonna do the vocals first. I completely ruined anybody's dream if you were thinking that I'm gonna do the drums. All right, yeah, Gabriele kind of got, we're gonna call it fair, because he has some connection issues and stuff, so he might hear me like a little bit later. I would do the vocals first, and we can scout stuff around. There's a reason for this. There's a theoretical reason. It's the most important thing in the genre. When you do hip hop, I guarantee you, if you get the vocals right and the rest you just pump the volume, don't tell anybody who, I know and worked and did stuff with people that have done amazing hip-hop records. So they're not gonna talk to me anymore. But they also agree on that. You need to have good vocals. The vocal and the MC and the foundation is the most important thing ever. So let's listen to just the drums. I don't think there's any issue with the drums themselves. I think they sound pretty good. Okay, there could be some sculpting, some whatever. We could always do something, right? But the drums they do work. How about the bass? Bass has one issue. The bass has the issue of being too sinusoid somehow. Oh, right. Sorry. That's me being not capable of working this thing on. Hold on. Right on. Thanks, Brevin. You saved me. We need this thing. There we go. Here's the music. Because we kind of need the music.
And keep my fans up. That's why I hold the belt like I'm trying to keep my pants up.
Right? That's it. Awesome. Fixed it. I don't know how it slipped to me that this scene didn't have it. So let's hear the drums. That's better with the music. It usually, music masterclass, you might want to have the music. So the drums. Bass. The bass has the problem of being a sine wave-ish thing. So I think it's the toughest thing in the record, and I would probably take the band and say, like, why would you people just want this? But there's some hip-hop genres that have this. Keys, let's hear the keys. I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong. There's just lack of reverb and ambience, right? But the vocals, they don't push enough.
For the count, you can give me all you've got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, hit jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up.
So if we move to the B part as well here.
So I can keep my fans up. That's why I hold the belt like I'm trying to keep my pants up. Hands up, never drop your guard when
Better. Why is it better? Because this guy is projecting more air into the mic. The other one, because of the part, not because the other guy cannot sing, has a lighter part. So the mic has a little bit more issues. Maybe they tracked it at different studios, I don't know. But this has an easier time because it's more compressed in a way. So let's hear the final.
Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right. You remember I don't hear me, fear me. Ain't no standing toe to toe. The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that you.
So I will demonstrate, and I might fail, that if we do the vocals and we keep everything else the same, you are going to have a much better mix than whatever else you were doing with bass, drums, keys, and orchestra and all that stuff. Guaranteed. For sure. So the first thing we're gonna do is I'm going to put a limiter on the mix bus. I'm actually gonna put a compressor on the mix bus first. This is usually where we crash. 60-50. All right. So this plugin is from Mac DSP. I don't know if you've ever used it. Doesn't really matter. And there's some cool stuff that this plugin does. There's modules like Slate Digital stuff. It's just modules and things. I will keep it in bypass, and I will put in their ML1 or ML4. Which one was I using in the old times? I think the ML1. Yes. So this is a limiter. Nothing fancy about it. We're gonna keep it at -1. Threshold at -1. The knee we're not gonna touch. The release at 10. This is just gonna prevent our reds.
Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me.
As simple as that. We don't need anything else. We're gonna put a compressor before this guy, and we're gonna use still again a compressor that is still from Mac DSP. I don't know if you people have used this ever or not, and this is gonna sort of be our SSL compressor, so sort of, because I don't have an SSL compressor here. But With hip hop, I would go for an SSL compressor style, like 100 million times for sure, because people, well, there's a channel G dynamics. This could work in a way. We could use these as well. And I don't know if you've ever seen these plugs. Maybe you haven't. Let's try and see. I would probably still prefer not the channel G, but this. So before the compressor kicks in, before the limiter kicks in, sorry, we're gonna put this thing. I'm gonna try and do 4. We're gonna try, I usually have parameters in my mind. We're gonna try 100 release, 10 milliseconds attack, compression 4:1, no knee. Yeah, exactly. At the studio, I have a custom SSL that was built from the new duality. It's not built from the old SSL 4000, so it's a bit cleaner, but it's, it's what we use when we need the SSL. It's got that. We still don't know if, if it's better than the normal stuff, because it was kind of made custom from pieces. It's a DIY, but from pieces of a duality that was decommissioned or stuff. It's kind of easy to do. The chips are not that expensive either. So everybody today has, SSL bus compressors. But this is going to be kind of different for now. But my aim here is to try and find a little bit of a glue factor. We might try auto release, we might try release 1. So what's the idea behind this? Is to try and glue things a little bit more. So let's take the chorus and let's do a check here.
Ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me knock out.
Crunch time. The way I eat these beats, you probably think it's lunchtime.
We can even go knee 16. It's kind of weird compressor, this one.
Ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me.
All right. There's another thing this compressor has, and it's a side chain for the lows. So this I would do, and I would put it. I would put this guy before, and probably try and filter some of the frequencies, even very high. I could put it at around, I don't know, 400, for example.
Ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you got.
You see the difference when I don't engage the pre-filter here, the filter is off, and you see I'm compressing much more, right?
Ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me knock out.
And now you hear, because of the vocals that come in and everything, we're like completely crashing away. So I don't want the knee to be working. I still want this guy pre-filter to be in there.
Ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me knock out.
There we go. I don't want anything more than this, but you see how high I am cutting at around 209. And the reason is I want to leave the drums almost alone. I want to keep everything as like crunchy from the vocals, from the snare up. I could even go 390 or 290, 300 hertz or something like that. Usually I sometimes go even 300. I'm curious to see this other chorus, how it goes with 300.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that.
I think it's perfectly fine. It's just a little bit of gluing so that it kind of works. Now, the next thing I would do, I haven't even touched the single tracks, is I would put a touch of analog feel to this thing. and I would put it after everything but before the limiter. So there's two plugins that I want to use. These can be incredibly dangerous to use, but I've used them for quite a while. So these two are emulations of the dynamic stages of analog. It's the little one on top, and the tape stages of analog in on the bottom. So tape in the sense of frequency response more than dynamics, although it kind of does dynamics, and the other one on top is just the feel and the vibe of how dynamics change through analog. So this is going to be extremely subtle. It has to be extremely subtle. I like to have the release very short, and it's meant to be some sort of very, very light compression. I could tell you right away off my head how I like to set this thing. I usually like to set it this way. And you might say, like, this guy is nuts. Yes, I've done it so many times. I know this, how I want to do it. Don't worry. It's all going to be fine. This could be a start. It could even be one. So we're going to drive it a little bit. The carve is just the behavior of the analog. The attack and the release are sort of like a compressor in a way. Never engage the auto gain because it just sends things to shits. And then the second one on the bottom is more similar to any tape machine, right? It's got a roll off, it's got a bump where you can change the behavior of the frequency spectrum of the machine. The roll off is where we roll. It's got different types of machines that you can set. I usually like the USA M, and I usually set it at roll off at 45, bump at 22, which is like the difference. The bias is kind of 3. We're going to experiment because we have vintage, we have modern, we have the IC type for tape, and we have the speed of the tape. There's also a bias, and there's also the release time, which is you don't have obviously on tape, but it's kind of here. So let's first hear what analog channel 1, the one on top, does. The one on the bottom is completely off, so it's not doing anything because the power is off. So first, analog channel, still in the choruses.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your
You see the maximum completely destroyed.
To knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me knocked out.
So let's do a before and after. Let's see if there's a difference at all.
Ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hook, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me knocked out.
I kind of like 5. I'll go a little bit less on the drive. I hear it as a sort of like, it almost even feels louder in a way, but it shouldn't be because it's a little bit thicker, probably. More harmonic content, something like that. But in my headphones, it kind of sounds a little bit more together. Now let's keep it on and let's bring it with the second one, which is the sort of tape frequency stage. So without.
Ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give
And
me
with.
all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hook, your jabs, it'll take more than that.
So what you see immediately is that our staging is, I would say, wrong. That happens, a lot. Like we have too much gain in, and the thing just goes to, just too much compression. So that's why we have input. We could stay -6 down. Let's try that.
Ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the
Right.
count. You can give me all you
Obviously
got,
now
ain't gonna stop at all.
we have to compensate, right?
Your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me knocked out.
All right, let's see if this works, because until now I kind of liked what I had. This one with tape, it's kind of taking it out of the genre. Let's see if I can find a way to just, kind of make it cooler. Let me also take a look at the limiter, because I don't want to be limiting at all here. So I don't want to be loud now. So we can gain stage ourselves in this area of the 2 greens, right?
Ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hook, your jabs, it'll take more than that.
I still hear too much compression.
ain't giving up, this belt so easy.
All right, the bias is the guy responsible for this. Look at me while I go from 12 to -12. You know, and you might be asking, like, where is this guy starting to mix? This is the mixing, people. This is it. This is it. This is it. So bias 12 is completely obliterating all the high definition and the high frequencies that, let's face it, the hip hop is famous for. And the vocals here are, and the drums and everything else, I think it's a good recording. We don't have too much sharpness from all these. Actually, we need to make it sharper, because I guarantee you, the people from the hip hop era and world, they're gonna want it sharper. So, but when we go to -12, then we have a different kind of thing. So let's start from 12.
Ain't losing hope, no, not going
I hear it
for the
pumping too
count.
much.
You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me knocked out.
All right, now we're kind of getting there, but I want you to hear the bass, if we like the bass or not, because that's, as it happens for real tape, everybody loves tape until we hit the subwoofer. I guarantee you that. There's a lot of talk about tape, the fact that it's so amazing, everybody loves it, blah, 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 all that. But when you have a great aligned machine and you put rock through it, it's kind of a thing. Some electronic music just does not work through tape because bass shifts. And it's the same thing that's happening here in this plugin. So that's the thing, you know?
Ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me knocked out. Ain't no telling what I'll do.
All right, let's go back. I'm thinking I'm starting to get it right to a point where I kind of like it, because what I'm listening to is that the bass might shift a little bit, but what I really like is that it's cleaning up the mid frequencies. So you know that I might be going around to fix some of the low mids. Hear how the figure of this USAM is kind of keeping the low mids in place and kind of thinning them. And in hip hop, there's not a lot of mids going on all the time like in rock music. There's no heavy guitars. Mainly, I think that's the main reason. So we gotta have a very nice crisp high frequency range, and we gotta have a very tight lows. But the low mids, especially if we need volume, we can a little bit clean up, and it's not gonna be an issue like in rock music or things. So let's take a look at this.
I ain't giving up, this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me knocked out.
Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass.
Hear the
tryna
lift
get
in
me
the
out my
vocal.
home and, got a problem cause lately I try to overspin. To block out all the bullshit I put no focus in. Call Bobby cause Philly spitting that dope again. I got my back against the ropes trying to rope them in. Like, oh my, I'm the coldest in charge. It's easy for them to hate when you be going this hard. It's funny, I tell them all you can meet me in hell itching. Get you on the phone and start talking like Mel Gibson. Knock me out, I think that's rare in my sport. You's a gangster that's just trying to whip his hair back and forth. I think it's time for you to pick again. Trying to hit you with that knockout blow.
Trying to knock me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all.
I like it. Now, this would be a very, like, we have to do, like, what is it? In The Simpsons, there's an episode of, like, Feather Touch, right? I think it's The Simpsons or it's Family Guy, where you play, or maybe it's Family Guy. No, I think it's The Simpsons, where he's playing, like, a boring video game of a guy golfing, and it became a cult. So we have to go Feather Touch. That's the game function for where you have to go, like, really light on the throw, for making it the last thing in the green. It's cleaning it up. It's becoming a little bit sharp. The last thing I want to try is to see, I saved this preset. Let me try and see if we have a better better luck with a figure that's Swiss or USA, so you can hear the difference in what I'm doing, because this is incredibly important. This is where I spend a lot of time, but it's got to sound like a record right off, and we're using no hardware whatsoever here. So I spend way more time on plugins than I do on hardware. Preben's been in the studio, Gabriele as well. We spend few seconds on hardware and we go like, man, boom, it works. We love it. Let's try this. Okay, maybe yes, maybe no, boom, done. On plugins, it's like, hold on, because it's a fake thing. Our ears are able to detect. Sorry, machine, we're better than you so far. Let's try USA A.
I ain't giving up, this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me knocked out.
Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin. To block out
I think
all
I
the
like A
bullshit,
better.
I put no focus in. Call Bobby cause Philly spitting that dope again. I got my back against the ropes trying to rope them in. Like, oh my, I'm the coldest in charge. It's easy for them to hate when you be going this
Yes,
hard.
yes.
It's funny, I tell them all you can meet me in hell itching.
Nothing?
You on the phone and start talking like Mel Gibson. Knock me out, I think that's rare in my sport. He's a gangster that's just trying to whip his hair back and forth. I think it's time for
I don't know if you hear it. I don't know if you hear it. I don't mean that you can't hear it. I mean, if you hear it the way I do, to me, it's becoming closer to what a record is. It's sacrificing some diesel. And have you noticed we have zero gain reduction in these parts? We have zero. There's no gain reduction whatsoever. So we're not compressing anything, but it is changing stuff around. It's becoming a little more a little more crisp, a little more electric, a little more like modern, put out. So we're not hitting the limiter at all. We're gonna use after this, we're gonna try and see with Fire Master where we can go to punch the master even more to something else. But now I would leave the mix bus alone. I wouldn't touch anything like this anymore. I like USA because it's kind of keeping it a little more tight. I think it's not cleaning things too much in the middle. And I kind of like the bias. Obviously, this plugin is kind of hard because you don't see the tape rolling. You don't see the stuff that's making you, oh, this sounds so much like tape. You have a very green, that's for sure, a very green interface with just knobs. And your ears are going to be the judges of, is this working or not? I can tell you it's not the end of the day if we don't use analog channel ACA 202. The 101 instead, the dynamic stage, I really like because we have no compression, kind of like it. But let's keep this where it's at. And let's close these people. We are fine that we're not compressing anything. And then we say, okay, where would you go now? Now there's really no way of going around. I would put stuff on the lead vocals. So the first thing I would do is take a lead vocal. And the dilemma is if we use this guy.
fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on.
Actually, these guys,
Fly sting like a bee, I flow like a butt.
or the chorus ones,
Ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that.
or this.
Dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass.
I would use this. You heard the song, so you know the different vocals that are there. I would definitely use these people. So I would like to throw sort of a loop here with my amazing skills. And let me see. I don't want to use shortcuts that I'm not aware of. It should be Shift P, but I don't want to try my luck. So we go loop active. Oh, of course, it's numpad. Oh, how could I forget?
Before you see me knocked out.
Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on.
All right, this guy is in between the chorus, which is a lighter one, and the second part, which is a tougher one. This guy is going to be our reference for making the vocals. So what do we need? I already know what I need. And this might come to a shock for some people of like, what the hell is he doing? But I guarantee you it's the way to do it. So the first thing I would put here is a limiter. And I'm going to use something that honestly I never use because I don't know it as much. It's called, lo and behold, it's called limiter. So the first thing I want to put on this guy is a limiter. The second thing I want to put on this guy is an EQ. And we're still gonna use Mac DSP. We're gonna use how's this guy called? It's called Filter Bank. We have E, F, and P. What does E do? All right, this is gonna be enough. We have a filter, we have another filter, we have a gain, so we have a shelf, we have two belts, and we have another shelf. So if we can't make the vocal sound better through this, we are a failure to society and the world. We don't need to be using any other plug at all. So that settles it for us. We might need a De-Esser at some point. Now, do I have a De-Esser here? The DE555 is a De-Esser. So I'm not endorsing Mac DSP. I spoke with Colin, the guy who made this plugin, who's an amazing guy, knowledgeable. He used to work in Pro Tools when we were babies. At least I was. Maybe somebody in chat was already, 50. I don't know. What am I talking about? But he can't be 50 if he's 46 today. So, that's a De-Esser, of course. So I'm going to actually put the De-Esser before the limiter. I could even put it way before the limiter itself, so it's probably safer to put it at the very start. That's usually how I do it. There's not a lot of lows or things that I want to take away from here, so I'm not going to put an EQ at the very start. Then we're going to compress this guy, and we're going to use another same thing. We're going to use the CB202. So now the interface is like, okay, I know this plugin Alberto uses. I hate it, but it kind of works. There's another one that works pretty well and stuff, but I know one thing. I know I'm gonna want some parallel compression on this guy. So the way we do it is we're gonna create some sends here. So we can do add effects channel, and he's gonna do it for us, and we're gonna use this horrible color so that we don't forget. We call this LDV 1176. We create another send, right? And we call this LDV Fatso. And I'm gonna explain you why, because I usually use this stuff in hardware. So that's the thing. We're gonna use a bus for these people. We're gonna call these effects. So even our effects are gonna be stamped out to a bus, to a specific bus, and she's gonna go to mix bus. And so we have these two effects. Very nice, thank you very much. Let's go to effects. Always keep an eye on the outputs, because sometimes I make mistakes and things don't go where they need to. Then this is all good. I kind of like it. I already know I want a third effect for sure here, and I want another effect which we're gonna call LDV dist. Usually I have a template for this, not for hip hop, for example, but for rock I do. I also want an LDV short V. So this is gonna be our short reverb. These guys have to go to effects, right? And they have to be cyan. Then I want to try a vocal short delay. So that's not necessarily for vocals, so we're gonna call it short delay, or I actually usually call it delay short. And it's still gonna be cyan in color, and it's still gonna go to effects. And look at the whole thing here is getting longer and longer. And then one more, which is gonna be is going to be the delay long. Usually delay long. And two more things. I want to set a reverb. Let me take care of this guy. Has to go here. Another effects, add effects channel. We're gonna call this guy that's a short verb. Okay, that's a short verb, or verb short. Right, this guy we move here because it's just fair, and we call this verb long. They're probably all gonna be short enough, but This is the thing. So let me think about it. We have 2 compressions, 1 distortion. We have 2 reverbs, 2 delays. What else do I need? A 3rd reverb. And you'd be surprised, like, oh my God, like hip hop is so dry. He's gonna ruin it. I'm gonna ruin it for sure, but hip hop has a lot of reverbs, people, and delays and throws and stuff. Guaranteed. So this is gonna be Verb Stadium, sort of. Right? This, I want to try something that is really, really long. It might not work. If it doesn't work, we change it for something else. But it's the combination of these things. Remember, I don't have hardware, so I'm thinking about what I use in hardware to do this, with how I set up things. This is for the vocals, and we're gonna do it kind of fast, I think, now, because once we set things right, they're gonna work. So let me mute all of these. We don't want to set this guy up. Let's hear this guy.
Always been quick to get my thump on.
And the first thing I go for is gonna be the limiter. Here.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone, while bitches hit me with ass trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in.
So now what we're doing is we're taking all the little peaks that the vocal has and we are compressing them. So now we could go true peak. I honestly don't want to go true peak. I don't care. It doesn't need to be a true peak thing. Look it up. It's kind of complicated. True peak means you are really not going over the value that you're saying. So it's kind of good if you're approaching 0, and it's a different behavior of how the thing works. So we don't need this. We're still at -5 or something. So the ceiling means what is the maximum we want the vocal to go to? And I said, like, all right, -3, whatever. But the threshold is how we're pushing the vocal to it. So
look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in.
I really like it that way. I gotta say, this limiter, when I tried it, I was like, this guy works. It's fast. It's not. I usually use the L1 from Waves because I have it in my head now. I have to use it. But this works. Even if we push it very hard, you can tell that it's not always like doing that crunchy thing, although you can hear the room is coming out too much. But it's just so that the peaks are being contained and we were able to put the thing a little bit more in the open. So now we're gonna try put it in context maybe, but I already know some things I want to do, not with the filter bank, but maybe with the compressor first. So let me keep the limiter up here, which is still gonna be on. Let's do the compressor, and then we go in between with the EQ and try and kind of make the vocal a little bit more, but I need the context for the EQ because I can't really do it that way. So let's try this.
Always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone, while bitches hit me with ass trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in.
Very fast release, so that the vocal is kind of getting out. So it was like this before our processing.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need...
Okay, we're louder a little bit, but I already know that I want the vocal to be kind of louder and then adjust it somehow. So I kind of like it that way. It's a little bit...
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone, while bitches hit me with ass trying to get me out my home. And
I can even try
got
this.
a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in.
Ooh, much better. Open attack. I usually don't do this because it's like, I like it kind of faster to grab things, but a 4-to-1 without bite or knee, I don't touch that usually. And the threshold to -14, we're doing, I don't even know how much, maybe 2-3 dBs of compression compression, and we have a fast release, but we have kind of a slowish attack, like 12. It's still fast, but like not like an 1176 or something. Now we're gonna set sort of something similar here for our 1176 effect, but we're gonna kind of keep it a little bit tighter, I would say, in a way. So we're gonna do more of this. And this is going to be in parallel, okay? This is no longer the compressor in line. We're going to take everything I have here and we're going to duplicate this and we're going to do it in parallel. So I want to still hear the source vocal.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit.
And you hear what it does. It doesn't need to be blatant, it doesn't need to be a lot, but you'll hear that in context when I drop this guy down and we remove the parallel compression of this guy, we're really gonna have issues hearing the vocal all the time. Like, it's gonna keep the vocal up because the parallel compression is being crunched in a way that it's just moving there. Now, normally I never use this plugin here to do it, but it works. I know the principle of it. I usually use an 1176 to do this, and I set it kind of up to what an 1176 would do. I didn't use the sidechain. Why? Because my 1176 in the studio does not have a sidechain. So if I like the sound of that in the studio, probably it's also because it doesn't have a sidechain. And yes, because it doesn't have one, it craps out on the lows a little bit, but it's fine. So then we do the Fatso thing. I'm just gonna copy this guy out. And for this guy, it's gonna be kind of harder to do because it's usually never kind of a super tight number. The Fatso is kind of in a weird configuration, so we could use a plugin like the Fatso, but I don't have it. So let's try and see a super compressed way of doing this. This is even more compressed, and I think auto release is even better. So
look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in.
Nice. So we're crunching 20 dBs. I'm raising 14, and the reason why I'm raising 14, which is kind of goes to where Davide had asked that question, is you notice how I'm always trying to keep the fader at 0. 0 is not 0. 0 is in our mind the number that means it's where we like it. And when we want to make variations, we take that 0 and we go a little bit up or a little bit down. So we go farther from the sweet spot that we had decided, but the 0 is still our house. That's home. 0 is home. 0 is family. 0 is good. We have to keep it there. If I keep these at 0, I'm gonna have to put this guy at +10 at least, and then I'm ruined because I don't have any movement left here. So I gave it a +14. It kind of sits at a level where I like it. We're gonna, I'm gonna use both of them, but I'm gonna keep moving on a little bit more of a out of context kind of thing. And the reason is usually I have either these things set or I already know how they kind of have to sound. So the third thing that this vocal is missing is not the EQ, which is left there as a safety. It's a short reverb. And the short reverb is fundamental to give this thing more weight. So now the issue is, what are we gonna use for reverb? Reason being, I usually use a lot of stuff that I don't have here. So that's gonna be good. Let's use something called, which is an amazing plugin, something called, I know what you would like to use. Look at I forgot I have Valhalla. Man, we cannot not use Valhalla for this. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wanted to use another plug which we'll use later, which is called Verbum, and I'll use it for the other verb, for the long one. But man, I mean, this is it. So let's try with a short plate rather than with a room first. Although it could be a room that works, but let's try a short plate, like a very, very short plate. So our vocal is here. If you don't know Valhalla, this guy makes plugins since, he left. I think they were working in hardware or stuff. They're awesome. So And they're really great plugs. They do all sorts of reverbs and they just kind of work. So let's try with Verb Short.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on.
So we need something short. 0.5 is good, and we need a lot of pre-delay. Okay, the effects must be every time in mono. That's a good question. Like, that's a very good question, because sometimes I do like mono to stereo, which I think.
Look,
This is the case. We're putting in mono into stereo. So we're getting a stereo reverb out of mono. For some stuff, I really like mono into mono. And we'll get to it in a little bit. Like when I do probably the delay short, I want it mono for sure. So, but usually the reverbs, yes, I like to have mono into stereo. So if you have a stereo track, then it's okay. I mean, if they give you a stereo track, you have a stereo track. There's nothing you can do about it. So the way I want it here is we can choose some colors. Let's try these different ones. And but I still like the size of these. Hear these out.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. While bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in. Call Bobby cause Philly spitting that dope again. I got my back against the ropes trying to rope.
And these people is why I have won so many awards in my life that I keep hidden from society, because it would be so awesome, to show them that I'm just so modest. No, I haven't won crap, but I still believe, no matter what other people tell you, and they probably tell you the same, that this is the short reverb that changes your mix from, I had a friend do it for free, because we're kind of broke, to one of the steps that are like, holy shit, this is a record. And the reason behind it is not going a random or this is the best plugin. I'm going to give you the rule of why this is it, because that's why we're doing this. The rule is it's a short plate and it's a delayed plate. So we have a strong pre-delay and we have a very short time. The other thing I tweaked is we have practically zero high frequencies past 2000 or something like that. Accidentally, it's 2400, which is like the telephone frequency. And we have a little bit more bump in the lows. And I can play with size and width, but I think this, I don't even want to change the value of chrome or stuff. I don't care. If you tell me there's too many choices here, these already sounds from this.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on.
You hear how the sound bounces off with the guy rhythming. Rhyming, like being rhythmically, you can hear the groove. If an MC, a rapper is good, when he raps and there's no music, you already hear the beat underneath. That's how it has to be. It's like a jazz player playing piano. If he plays a solo, or she plays a solo, you're gonna hear the harmony even with the single notes, because he's underlying the harmony that the chords are are doing. So that's the same thing. He's underlying the rhythm that he has in his head while he's emphasizing the consonants. So this is very important. It allows us to set the short plate to work. I could have used the room, maybe works better. I don't care. It could work with a short room. It's so short, this plate, that could be a roomy-ish kind of thing. But that's the same thing. Size and width, we could play with it. I don't want to do it. I would just move on, because it gets very lazy. Now we go to verb long. Okay, verb long, we're going to try and do something crazy. Let's try and get JMG, not hyperspace. I want verbum. Verbum looks awesome. It looks like something the Ghostbusters would bring into, like, detect ectoplasmic, life. So this is going to be more of a wilder, kind of warmer thing, but it's still an entropic hole. So it's got a weird sound. that can be tamed a lot. It's got a 12-bit thing like the old Dakai stuff, I think, something. I'm not usually using this, but let's play with verb long. And let's maybe take out verb short just for the example thing. So
Look, always been quick to get.
the starting preset is awesome. I like the fact that it's glassy and it's not too pleasant, but I guarantee you it helps the mixes a lot, even on sometimes on buses. So
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on.
see, you can do another short really easy. This is actually sounding really good.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in.
Ooh, so good boys. These Verbum. This is another plugin made by United Plugins. It's just guys I really like. It's a sort of a syndicate of people making plugins, but they come from being something else. So they're all musicians, they're all engineers, they're people that have done video game soundtracks and stuff. And they said like, I would like this plug to be this and that. And I'm very appreciative of this, because it's not people with ties that try and sell you plugs because they have awesome interfaces or they have the best name, signature, whatever. This is really good. Came out, I think, recently. Maybe it's one of the latest plugins they have. So I'm changing. It's not scripted, people. I haven't mixed these in my entire life, guaranteed. I never mixed. Gabriele knows I never mix something I already mixed because I die out of boredom. So this is no longer verb long. This is verb short too. And we're going to use both. But now we have to, unfortunately, look at that. We're raising, but longer is good. So it's more how you use it, the mix, obviously, than, that. So FX1, let's not leave our so verb long. Good. It has to go to effects. And we have to call this verb long. We are still going to use the awful color, and we're still gonna use verbum. Verbum.
Look, always been quick to.
So verb long, right on. Thank you very much. I'm keeping the compressors on anyway. So now here I want 100%, maybe no pre-delay. And the decay, I don't even know how many milliseconds it is, but maybe all long reflections, not late reflections, not early reflections.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in. Call Bobby cause Philly spitting that dope again. I got my back against the ropes trying to rope them in. Like, oh my, I'm the coldest in charge. It's easy for them to hate when you be going this hard. It's funny, I tell them all you.
All right. We're getting there. It sounds horrible, right? I guarantee you, it in my ears, it's cool. But
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in. Call Bobby cause Philly spitting that dope again. I got my back against the ropes trying to rope them in. Like, oh my, I'm the coldest in charge. It's easy for them to hate when you be going this hard. It's funny, I tell them all you can.
All right, now we lowered the volume. We don't want it that loud.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in. Call Bobby cause Philly spitting that dope again. I got my back against the ropes trying to rope them in. Like, oh my, I'm the coldest in charge. It's easy for them to hate when you be going this hard as.
Now, I like that they used autotune on that because I hear it fluttering, and it's making the modulation on this reverb go even more nuts, and it creates a tension in the message that is amazing. I would like to spend 2 seconds to talk about the lyrics. You heard the lyrics, right? It's about the metaphor, the comparison of somebody making it in life by not getting knocked out, right? That's the song. It's called Knockout. So it represents life as a struggle on the ring, and you're fighting against somebody else, and there's this getting signed and the struggle of a guy hustling to become, a proper MC. So the coldness of this reverb, I think it's appropriate because it has to remind us in the back of our head of, man, I'm getting moved, by this. This says a strong message, but it's true. It's the back of the gym where I would imagine the guy preparing for the fight, because in the second part, this MC is gonna narrate like how he fights with words, sort of like Tyson, right? So we want to have a sort of an idea of him being still preparing in the gym with all the tension of the people being in the crowd, and everything is kind of happening and building up, sort of like an exam of stuff like that. Man, this is moving. I can get moved. I could cry here, but it's true. It's must not cry. I mean, come on, people. But I guarantee you, this is it. I just pictured that, and I think that's the reason why I was liking this colder thing. So that's our savior, the long reverb 2. The stadium is gonna be a little bit harder to do. I don't really want to do it now. I don't even probably want to do the delays as well, but I have to because I called them out, so I need to. So delays, these delays are gonna be just Valhalla delay, which is not just, it's a cool reverb. But the coldness of the reverb, people, it's our connection to the lyrics. It's the gym. It's the dressing room before the big fight. So out there, it's just sweat and hot and stuff and warm and textiles and TV and lights. And in the first part, this guy is colder in a place where he's setting up his gloves and stuff. So, uncomfortable, dirty, maybe, something like that. So, kind of cool. So delays. My God. I managed to not cry. The message is kind of strong. I love the lyrics of this song. Maybe that's that's what it is. All right. So short delay. Let's put it to. I have to put it to milliseconds because my time. I don't know the BPMs. Very important. Set the BPMs right. We're gonna do it old school here.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately
You could set it 110, but that's gonna be similar to our short reverb. Right? So remember 110 or 90s kind of works for delayed plates usually all the time. There's a lot of people that say they don't know why, but there's a magical number or something. It kind of works. But 220 or something kind of had this effect. And now in our metaphor, remember, this is the speaker. This is the guy, the caster, who's saying like on, when there's a boxing match, like on the left corner, on the right corner, that stuff, it's got that effect, right? Because the place is so big that there's this delaying of the sound reflecting around. So this can help us shape something cooler that way.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home. And
careful not to override, the vocals. But this, for example, is very mono. So,
look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need.
We don't need the spread. I wanted to put there. So maybe 220 was kind of right.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in.
Has to be this low and no feedback, because by the time that the sound comes back, usually you have like, ladies and gentlemen, how many times have you seen it in NASCAR? It goes like boom, comes back. You have that reflection from the back of the stadium back to you, right? You don't have a feedback going by ping pong, ping pong. You have like one smack. And that's what gives you the idea of having like a huge stadium. I've been doing this for like lately for some sort of like post-production for a game, and we used a lot of that because it was like an empty stadium or something like that. So that's what your ears hear when you're, you know, in a long thing. So then we got the last one, promised last one. Long feedback delay, because we never know if we use it. And this is probably gonna be dual. Let's try. Let's put this to, I don't know, 420. 420 and just have a little bit of a...
Look, always been quick to get my thump on.
Let me turn it on because it helps.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone, while bitches hit me with ass trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in. Call Bobby cause Philly spitting that dope again. I got my back.
Okay, here I might go hi-fi actually, not tape, because it's kind of... And I go future, maybe.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone, while bitches hit me with ass trying to get me out my home. And
all right, here we go. Man, okay, I just touched the width and it was like kaboom. I usually keep them centered and here if they're not clashing too much with the vocal the way I don't like. And then when I go boom, we open it up and it becomes, you see, stereo. The good thing about this is like Studio One is not like Pro Tools. Like you have mono tracks, stereo tracks, it doesn't care. You put an effect there, you can go mono stereo. It's kind of more versatile in a way. I think we have it, except for the stadium. We have the verb long, we have the verb short, we have kind of everything else. So now we're gonna go to listen to this and then take a look if it works out of context. So I'm gonna take the solo out. And
look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone, while bitches hit me with ass trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in. Call Bobby cause Philly spitting that dope again. I got my back against the ropes trying to rope them in. Like oh my, I'm the coldest in charge. It's easy for them to hate when you be going. It's hard, it's funny, I tell them all you can meet me in hell itching and get you on the phone and start talking like Mel Gibson.
I love it. You might hate it, I don't care. I'm super happy. I'm gonna go hug my cat. It's exactly what I wanted. The levels can be tweaked. You know, I have a cat. I'm not afraid to use it. If you hate me, I'm gonna go cry to her. You know, so you get the idea, right? I can turn these off and turn it back on.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on.
Good,
I'm in
but
my
weak.
zone, banging Marley all alone, while bitches hit me with ass trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in. Call Bobby cause Philly spitting that dope again. I got my back against the ropes trying to rope them in.
Nice. Now, there's the doubles. The doubles we're gonna do very easily. We're gonna do this, people. I don't feel like we need a De-Esser, but we're gonna put it there anyway. We're gonna put the limiter there, and that's where usually like you go, oh, I get it. We don't use the EQ. I don't think we're gonna use it for now. Let's try and see if this setup kind of works.
Look, always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone, while bitches hit me with ass trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in. Call Bobby cause Philly spitting that dope again. I got my back against the ropes trying to rope them in. Like oh my, I'm the coldest in charge. It's easy for them to hate when you be going. It's hard, it's funny, I tell them all you can meet me in hell itching. Get you on the phone and start talking like Mel Gibson. Knock me out, I think.
Now, I don't want to put the 1176. We're gonna use a little bit of the Fatso here anyway. and I'm probably gonna put another limiter here. No, another limiter here at the very end. The reason is I even want to be a little bit more precise on how we are keeping this in check, but I really like, and I'm not gonna use effects on this because we already have effects on the lead, and I think they're kind of fine once they're widespread there. I like them. So let's go low release and
always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in. Call Bobby cause Philly spitting that dope again. I got my back against the ropes trying to rope him in. Like oh my, I'm the coldest in charge. It's easy for them to hate.
Okay, now here we're gonna use the EQ. I wanna take some of the lows out very gently, and I wanna take some of these high frequencies up. I want these vocals to be a bit sharper. Let's see if we can make it.
Always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in. Call Bobby cause Philly spitting that dope again. I got my back against the ropes trying to rope him in. Like oh my, I'm the coldest in charge. It's easy for them to hate when you be going this hard. It's funny, I tell them all you can meet
Remember
me in
these
hell
people
itching.
did.
Get you on the phone and start talking like Mel Gibson. Knock me out, I think that's rare in my sport. Use a gangster that's just trying to whip his hair back and forth. I think it's time for you to pick again. Trying to hit you.
Okay, we need a little bit less lows.
Always been quick to get my thump on. Light a fire, proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. My bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin to block out all the bullshit I put no focus in.
Alright, got it. Now I'm gonna show you why this was worth our time. Let's go back to the second verse.
Before you see me knock out.
Crunch time. The way I eat these beats, you probably think it's lunchtime. Soon as I spit, I bet you wonder why he's unsigned. The Holyfield of rap, see how I throw these punchlines. But while you biting like Tyson, I'm still holding the crown. Plus I'm raping the game, that's why I'm still holding it. And you can't hold me back like your arm's gone. Get on the track like I'm Armstrong. Up with this new shit so I can keep my fans up. That's why I hold the belt like I'm trying to keep my pants up. Hands up, never drop your guard when I'm around. I'm the champ, you a rookie and won't even last around. See me knocking down this game with these punches and these hooks. Breathtaking like I hit you with some punches and some hooks. Yeah, you know I never quit, never been a towel thrower. So you can stop the rushing like Rocky Balboa.
Knock me out.
Right, so I wanted him sharp. You notice when I dragged the stuff, it wasn't working that much. The reason why it wasn't working is the fader was not at 0. I had put it a little bit up just because I liked to have him louder when we were monitoring the thing. And now when I put it back at 0, the compressors make sense. They're keeping the whole thing pushed up. Maybe some De-Esser on him.
Before you see me knock out.
It's crunch time. The way I eat these beats, you probably think it's lunchtime. Soon as I spit, I bet you wonder why he's unsigned. The Holyfield of rap, see how I throw these punchlines. But while you biting like Tyson, I'm still holding the crown. Plus I'm raping the game, that's why I'm still holding it. And you can't hold me back like your arm's gone. Get on the track like I'm Armstrong. Up with this new shit so I can keep my fans up. That's
All right, I like it, and because now we are de-essing it, so remember, this is the inserts. The de-esser is the very first thing. So now, because we don't have that much S, that much S's in the track, we can take the freaking Fazzo, which is what I call the super compressed thing, and push it like crazy. Because guys, in hip hop, when these guys are MCing like that, we have practically 0 dBs of dynamic range. Crest factor is crazy. So it needs to be super forward. So let's take a look at the other vocals.
why I'm still holding it. And you can't hold me back like your arm's gone. Get on the track like I'm Armstrong. Up with this new shit so I can keep my fans up. That's why I hold the belt like I'm trying to keep my pants up. Hands up, never drop your guard when I'm around. I'm the champ, you a rookie and won't even last around. See me knocking down this game with these punches and these hooks. Bruh, taking like I hit you with some punches and some hooks. Yeah, you know I never quit, never been a towel thrower. So you can stop the Russian like Rocky Balboa.
Now, his vocals are a little bit darker than the other ones, so I'm compensating for it, but the chain works. The chain works, and this is where people that have been seeing you work there and are thinking like, it's never happening, it's not happening, fucking, it's not, oh sorry, I said the F word, it's not, well, it's hip-hop bands, they would say that, they would say worse things. We have worse stuff in the lyrics, so I can say that. Oh crap, it's taking too long, where is this going, blah blah blah, and it's just, shut up, you did your thing, now I'm doing mine. This is an instrument of creation, it's not a bunch of faders, it's not a bunch of plugins, it's something that cohesively creates something that conveys the message better. It takes time, but if you develop these in this sense, I guarantee you after a while it works. And stop thinking just do, it's about the song. Why would we open 400 more plugins? Stop thinking about the people endorsing shit just because they do get paid for it. Just think about it's the song. You don't need 300 million plugins. We already opened a lot of them. People were already open, how many? Like 15. But if you had a real studio, if you had real hardware, you would never have 300 million plugins. Or real things, you would have a certain amount of tools you have to send things into. So I'm really liking it. I want to move forward. I want to see the female vocals. Here, you see I'm moving away from the choruses because I think it's kind of easier to do the chorus than the verses. So we're doing the verses first and vocals. Weird way of mixing.
So easy, you'll be giving up.
The reason is also the chorus you hear is fuller of sound, so it kind of works, you know. But the verses is where these guys have to shine.
So easy, you'll be giving up before you see me knocked out. Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me, ain't no standing toe to toe. The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that you.
Now, we're gonna go with the same backings. We're gonna go with the same effects. We then don't know. This is where what is this program called? Studio One is really, really fast because it just has no clicks, no transitions, no nothing. It just, you know, I could just copy things and, you know, it's incredibly fast and efficient. So let's try and see one by one. I'm sure there's a shortcut for these, but you see I don't know them because I do manual stuff. So
easy, you'll be giving up before you see me knocked out. Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me.
No, she skips from one vocal to the other, so we gotta be quick because she goes to the other track and then what we're doing doesn't work anymore.
Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't.
Where is this boy? Oh, okay, hold on. I'm doing stuff here.
Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step.
All right, that's true. What did I do here? I copied it on the wrong one. All right, makes sense now. I was like, that's not doing much. Okay.
Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me.
So we need this time, we do need the De-Esser, people, because you can hear it becomes incredibly obnoxious, right?
Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose.
Okay, this quality I really kind of don't like about the tracking. When I raise the highs, I can hear it immediately, and it's not a very good sign when this happens, but we'll fix this.
Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me.
So remember that we can copy because it's the same mic. Remember, if you de-ess more to solve a problem in the highs, you're gonna have more problems, not less problems. So sometimes you must not fight it.
Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me, ain't no standing toe to toe. The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that you know.
All right, so it's kind of very, very sharp. But it will get better when we use the effects, because they're gonna kind of blend it a bit better. Let's try the tape to get rid of.
One, two, ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me, ain't no standing toe to toe. The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that.
See how it just jumps away, right?
One, two, ain't no telling what I'll do when you
Now
step
we
right
wait
up to
until it
me.
changes.
Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me, ain't no standing toe to toe. The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope.
Ooh, I got it. I don't know how or whatever. I know the first part is kind of sharper, but I like it this way. So it's just helping a little bit.
One, two, ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me, ain't no standing toe to toe. The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that you know.
Okay, here we go really, really dry. Let's try and see what we can use.
One, two, ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me, ain't no standing toe to toe. The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that you know. You see, I came from nothing. Watch me turn to something. Can you feel the heat like the ring? Wasn't enough. The stakes are high for me. There ain't no stopping me.
Okay, good. These people, I just put the De-Esser to keep the order, but they're off. Let's keep using the limiter like nuts. Let's keep using the filter bank from our main. It's male low vocals, so we go male low vocals. Let's put the compressor on these.
One, two, ain't no telling.
This guy as well. The I really want to copy from this. I don't think I want effects here.
One, two, ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose.
Okay, a lot less.
One, two, ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me.
Okay, these people we can fix with another EQ, and I'm telling you why. Now I'm gonna accelerate like I do every single time. We are going to compress, and then we're going to take out some of this area here because the vocal is here. Look how I can make the lead vocal more, audible.
One, two, ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me, ain't no standing toe to toe. The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that you know. You see, I came from nothing. Watch me turn it.
These now are very, very, very loud.
One, two, ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember,
I think the verb, maybe the delay could help this guy. I don't really want to compress it that much, but I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna do it. If we keep these up, we can lower the volume of this track a lot.
one, two, ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me, ain't no standing toe to toe. The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that you know. You see, I came from nothing. Watch me turn to something. Can you feel the heat like the ring? Wasn't enough. The stakes are high for me. There ain't no stopping me. Watch me flow like a butterfly and sing like a bee.
Yes, exactly. In the hip hop, they use a lot of auto-tune, so I don't use it here because the other effects, they do the work. Yes, the thing is exactly that. Like when you have this kind of thing, they already have the autotune, and I sometimes on backing vocals I use autotune even when you think like, oh my god, it's gonna be horrible if you use autotune. I do because I can then set, because of the control that I have on the fluttering, I can then fine-tune the delays and the reverbs a bit better, because I like to use modulation on the short delays to get a sense of depth from the frequencies. So if my delay modulates and the frequencies on the vocals are not spot on, you're gonna have trouble setting up your delay modulation. So I like sometimes to just, destroy the autotune on the backing vocals, which people can't really hear, especially in rock music or stuff, because there's just shimmery things. But then it helps me bring the detuning back in. Yes, and here it's so tight because they used autotune, and every time we did hip hop at the studio, we have autotune. They even asked me to have autotune on live while they track, and they can sing. A lot of people that have been there really sing well. If you turn it off, they sing perfectly. But sometimes they like to improvise lines and they lean on the autotune. They know how to do it. So, it's an instrument at that point. And exactly. So, yeah. Yeah, and Gabriele says, I often use tapes for smoothing highs. Yeah, sometimes nothing else works. You really have to have tape for some reason because it's just there. So let's see this package here.
One, two, ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me, ain't no standing toe to toe. The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that you know.
So these I did kind of tweak differently, right? So we have to...
Knock down. One, two, ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me, ain't no standing toe to toe. The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that you know. You see, I came from nothing. Watch me turn it something.
I really like this whoosh, this thing. Let me see where it is. Where is it? Where is it? Whoosh. This. So these we're gonna do the same thing. I actually don't. Maybe we don't even do anything to it, but one thing that's gonna sound amazing is the long delay. Wash, can do it by hand. Wash. Okay, it's a little bit too low. Wash. Yeah, okay.
Then watch me turn it something. Can you feel the heat like the ring? Wasn't enough? The stakes are high for me. There ain't no stopping me. Watch me flow like a butterfly and sing like a bee. My back's against the ropes and my back's against the ropes.
I have these audio files on a very slow drive, so sometimes when I copy stuff around, I hear the thing.
You know, you see, I came from nothing. Watch me turn it something. Can you feel the heat like the ring? Wasn't enough? The stakes are high for me. There ain't no stopping me. Watch me flow like a butterfly and sing like a bee. My back's against the rope. My back's against the rope. No, not going down for the count. No, you can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop it.
Awesome. Okay, you hear here we're gonna have to raise the vocal a little bit, but we're gonna do it in automation. I wouldn't do it now. I don't care. It's perfectly fine how it is. So what else? What else?
The Holyfield of rap, see how I throw these punchlines. But while you biting like Tyson, I'm still holding the crown. Plus I'm raping the game. That's why I'm still holding it down. And you can't hold me back like.
And this guy goes down. We could go with the super effect, right?
That's why I'm still holding it down. And you can't hold me back like your arm's gone. Get on the track like I'm Armstrong. Up with this new shit so I can keep my fans up. That's why I hold the belt like I'm trying to keep my pants up. Hands up, never.
Now, I think we got everything but the choruses, right? So let's do the choruses.
My back's against the ropes and I
This
ain't
guy,
losing hope, no.
this
Not
poor
going
guy's
down
been
for
left
the
alone.
count. You can give me all you've got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt's so easy. You'll be giving up before you see
Now,
me
when I drop stuff,
knocked
sometimes you hear like
out.
click, click. Okay, let's hear this.
Knock me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for
Original.
the count. You can give me all you've got, but
I don't
ain't
like
gonna
this
stop
EQ
at all.
effect here.
You can throw your
This is
hooks,
wrong
your
for
jabs,
this.
it'll take more than that.
So
to
I
knock
want to reset it, but I don't know how to do it. So we're gonna do it like this. Reset yourself. Right on. Double click, maybe it works. Yes. Okay. So if we double click on it, it's gonna be the same. Okay.
knock me out.
I just want to take some thing. 300. So
Knock me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you've got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt's so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me.
I kind of like it, but I wanted a bit more effects and stuff going on.
Knock me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you've got, but I ain't gonna stop
Okay,
at
hold
all.
on. I have
You
to
can throw
keep the
your hooks,
effects
your
in
jabs,
solo
it'll
mode
take
here.
more than that to knock me off my hustle.
I forgot the shortcut for this. Hold on. I gotta remember. There we go. Is it? No. Is it? No. So basically what I want to do is I want to keep the effects bus free because I want to hear the effects on this as well, right?
Knock me out. My back's against
Good.
the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count.
See,
You can give me
with the
all you've got
effects, we don't really need all that much cutting we did.
and knock me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no, not going
What
down.
I would do is actually a little bit of 200. Oh, I'm out of bands here. All right, let's do it at the very end. Let's take another EQ, and I want to use just one bell to go 2,400 and do sort of like the telephone.
And knock me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you've got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me
Bit of
off my
De-Esser.
hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt's so easy, you'll be getting.
So you can hear that kind of thing. And sometimes it comes from converters, sometimes it comes from EQs that have been using pre-processor stuff. So obviously it's kind of adding quite a lot here. So maybe I don't use this. Let me try and see if we can go 12 and reduce a little bit of the sharpness.
And knock me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you've got, but I ain't gonna stop at all.
Yes, okay. Yes. And again, the crackling or like a little bit of the things you hear, it's just the hard drive is dying on me. And I mean, because it's kind of slow, I don't want to tweak it now. It's okay. We'll try and change the buffer to something else because I think it's at a 128 or 64 because I was writing music before and I go very low. And so you'll hear that thing.
Knock me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no.
So without?
Not going down for the count. You can give me all you've got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle.
Little bit less lows, I think. And now we're gonna go with the backings here.
Gonna knock me out.
Same
My
thing.
back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count.
Now using
You
this.
can give me all you've got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle.
You can hear there's a lot of lows that maybe we just don't need as much because these are backings, right?
Knock me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count.
We could go this extreme.
You can give me all you've got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock
Very
me off my
radio.
hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt's so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me.
That's good. I like it. I'm gonna go with another bell here. Do I have it? Yes, just to take it out a little bit because it's compressing. It's being compressed in an area where the vocal is also singing. So
Knock me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count.
all right, then we have this. Oh, let's just keep it very, very simple.
Knock me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count.
Limiter as usual.
You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my
Okay,
hustle.
we copy this.
I ain't giving up, this belt's so easy. You'll be giving up before you see
We gotta
me.
keep it the
Knocked
same.
out.
Okay.
Knock me out.
Let's see if this works. If you go cranking the fatso up.
Knock me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope.
Yes, this
no,
is exactly
not
what I
going
wanna.
down for the count.
Delay maybe.
You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks,
Short
your
reverb.
jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle.
This would be very long. Okay, maybe it works.
Knock me out.
No.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you've got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks,
Maybe long.
your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle.
Right? Let's try these three guys without inserts and without sends to prove that humanity has, now one better song than it was before.
Knock me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jab.
Maybe, you know what, I even went too much with the telephone effect.
Knock me out. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll...
Yeah, okay, we're good. We're gold. These, I think we only miss. We've done the choruses.
Gangster that's just trying to whip his hair back and forth. I think it's time for
Nice.
Track like I'm Armstrong.
There's one vocal though that is this guy.
dick to jump on. I'm
Yeah, this guy, yeah. I can make this impression.
dick to jump on. I'm in my zone.
All right. What do we do with this guy? Nothing. This would be where you really slack and you don't want to do anything anymore because it's late and you're like, I want to go home.
Dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone.
And usually because you run through it, you get the best idea ever. Then Davide says, maybe it's a stupid question. Why do you put the EQ before the other things and then you work on these after the other things? It's not a stupid question. It's a perfect question. So part of what this let's call it masterclass because it makes it look amazing, right? Is a reference to this thing. So you see my method. I don't start from the kick. I don't start from the vocals. I don't start from the synths. There's the principle behind everything I do is this question. What is the issue that I need to fix right now? That is just that question. So I constantly ask myself, I mean, I don't really ask myself. I will get to that when I'm older to just talk to myself. But the question is always, it's like a rule. It's like something you can keep in memory. Like ask yourself, listen to the mix or whatever you have, and you go like, what is the utmost priority that I want to fix now? So if I had one move to make and then I have to print the mix, what is the one thing I want to do? Never do the kick because you think, well, you know, my superhero starts from the kick, I'm gonna do the kick. Don't do it like that. Or they say I have to start with the drums. They say I have to EQ before compression. They say I want to compress before EQ, blah, blah, all that. Think about what is the most important thing that I want to fix right now. And I'm gonna go backwards and say this. We started with it and it was like, you remember the volumes. Then we said, okay, it kind of works much better than before. What now? We listen to it again and we say, I want to do the mix bus, the panning first with it. Then we say, okay, now what? It's better than before. What do we want to do now? Well, it's not sounding that glued. Okay, let's fix the mix bus. And we did the mix bus and we stayed there quite a lot for 3 plugins, if you remember. And then we went to the 4th thing and I was like, okay, now we do the effects. And if you don't have a template ready, you are gonna get tired very, very soon. I don't have to promise you because you already know. We've been working on mixes for hours sometimes and we're like, oh shit, I forgot. What was I doing? Sounds horrible. All that. So remember, your attention span is only going to decrease. So a template is a great way to bring in things that work. I didn't have a template here, but I had it in my mind. From using hardware and plugins, and mixing, I sound like the Microsoft guy. Developers. You know, from mixing, I already know where I have to go to obtain a specific sound. And it's true, it's like an instrument in an instrument. So I said, okay, let me set this. I guarantee you one very great method that you could use is never do everything I've done today in one session. So you do the volumes, you do the panning, you do the mix bus, maybe you do the effects, but if you don't want to do the effects, go home. Do something else. The next day, do the effects and start mixing. Try and not do anything technical in the same session you're gonna mix, because if you listen to music too much, I guarantee you're gonna get your ears ruined. So you probably have thought like, my God, this guy is just setting plugins. It's been 20 minutes, he's not done anything. And then you noticed all of a sudden, all the lines that I had drawn, and this is gonna be an epic comparison, all right? All the lines that I had drawn, all the weird smudges of color, all the kind of shades I had done, nothing made sense until I dropped the 3 lines in there, and you go like, oh my God, he painted a landscape, right? Or he painted, I don't know, some fruit, or you know, his cat, you know. But I couldn't see the cat until he just closed it in with 2 brush strokes. If I start doing the eye and then the ears and stuff, it's so out of context, we're gonna destroy ourselves. So the EQ before the compressor, there's actually a good reason to keep it there and do it later. Sometimes when you compress, the compressors have a sound. And I was just remembered about a great sentence people I work with. One guy said, you can, it's not mine, I think it's Chris Muth from Dangerous Music. Maybe it's a video sometime, something that I've seen on Dangerous Music or something. People are going to learn to make records when they're going to use EQs like compressors and compressors like EQs. All right. Oh, I remember who said that. Fab said that. And so it's a video he did some time ago. And it's true. It's very true. People are going to make great records when they're going to use EQs as compressors and compressors as EQs. So a compressor is also a tone shaper. It's going to change frequencies. So if we don't like what we hear, we fix it by preventing the signal to go in the compressor in sort of a wrong way. So by having a compressor after the EQ, every move I make is going to be subtler, because if I go 4 dBs, the compressor is going to attenuate that. So it's massaging the audio, like Fab says all the time, massaging the audio a lot, right? So if I have the EQ after that, it's still good. You see, I do have the EQ after the compressor sometimes, because it's going to compress, and then we like the sound that we just make it a little bit more, you know, that's strong. So exactly, it's true. I mean, sometimes I also question myself and go like, oh my, is this going to work? But there's also an experience that comes from knowing that how things have to sound in solo. Also, I'm talking a lot, so I wouldn't be this, you know, long doing stuff. So in the end, you see, we didn't use the stadium, we didn't use the distortion. I think it's kind of fine. We did all of the vocals. Let's pretend we did all of the vocals. We didn't do the intro, which is this. These are kind of cool already, right? So let's try with compression maybe. Let's try this.
Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Flow.
Now, I don't know I don't know if you know what it is that he's saying. So the song starts, and these they have some, you know, African American heritage. They have a lot of people in there bringing this in. This is Muhammad Ali. This is the boxer, and one of his famous sentences was this: the piano starts, right? Some clicks from hard drives.
Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly.
It's flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. You know, so because for him that was the way that a boxer would be, you know, the true champion, you know, of blending. It's kind of a Bruce Lee thing. It's kind of moving. You know, I'm getting very emotional these days. That's good because it's music. It's an amazing sentence. It's like be like water, you know, something like that. So here we have to make it fly somehow, you know, and we have to kind of make it sting. So I think the vocals sting already, you know, and yeah, I imagine. I mean, I've only seen rewatches and stuff, but that's what he did, you know, fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. It's true. So it's like his boxing was like that. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna compress, but the vocals are already kind of edgy. So we have the bee, we're stinging, we're not flying. So I think what we can use is we can put some the delays, the long. Let me put all of these because it's kind of a atmospheric intro, and let's blend them because we have these. If it was a studio, we had these effects. We don't have any more money. We're broke. We have only 3 reverbs and 3 delays. I guarantee you it was a lot of money. So let's see. Let's make this thing fly a bit more. Where is this? Maybe here? Here.
Fly, sting like a
Okay, here.
fly. Flow like like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Right, we don't need to make it too obvious, but
Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
okay, we could keep this centered and maybe not use the delay, but use the delay and a little bit more reverb on the other guy on the back. So let me go back up. Where are these people here? I would like to zoom in, but my shortcuts are horrible. So I'm gonna use my mouse. That's a cool thing. Like we're flying.
Flow like a...
One thing I would do if I were you, which I don't like here, I'm gonna do like some edits. I would cut the breath out. This guy.
Flow like a butterfly.
Because the time you hear this breath is gonna give you away, and he's gonna give you away that he's singing. And sometimes I really don't like this. The compression is bringing it too much up. So some people might tell you like go down, bring it lower in volume. I would start sharp without that, you know. Comparison we could make, it's a boxer, it's hitting you, you know, and you don't see it.
Flow like a butterfly,
Fast.
sting like a bee. I flow like a
go.
butterfly, sting like a
There's
bee.
content of
Flow
emotions
like
here.
A butterfly, sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly,
They
sting.
tryna knock me out.
All right, so now it's the magic moment where we have to change the buffer size because I think we're crunching everything and it's not my mix. I want to make sure it's not that. So, ooh, yeah, 128, that's not good. Look at me amazingly using let me use something else to stream to you. Let's see, it should work. I hope you can hear me. Oh, you can because you see it here.
Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly,
They
sting.
tryna knock me out.
Right, same thing here. I wouldn't want the breaths. So I would probably cut them. That's something, you know, you can do in, oh, look at all the session here. Man, that's small. Yeah, I would do that.
Fly, sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly,
They
sting.
tryna knock me out.
Okay, now we have to set the levels and decide like where do we want these guys to go and stuff. Because this is the intro, so I'm gonna keep them
Fly,
centered.
sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly,
They
sting like
tryna
a
knock
bee.
me out.
You see, it's very important to do the transitions because if we go much lower, then we have an issue with the vocals. But I'm not gonna adjust the chorus vocals. The chorus vocals are fine. I'm gonna adjust the intro thing. So now we have the whole thing down. Would I do the drums? I have no idea. We should listen to it and decide. One thing we might do that we kind of might like is we're gonna do some stuff to the basses. So definitely I'm gonna take one more track. I'm not going to change anything in the drums as they are now, but I'm gonna do something to teach you like pills of this. We're gonna do drums comp, DR comp. Hear my mechanical keyboard playing in the background, people. Chica, chaka, chaka, chica. It's brown switches, not blue. Lucky for you, you're still alive because it's not the horrible blue. No, I also like those. Valeria hates them. So drum comp, blue. We're gonna do parallel compression of the drums. Parallel compression up, and I'm gonna use the same thing. This because it has a side chain. So we're gonna side chain everything. Let's do it in theory. Let's take 440, which is the fundamental of the snare, and go up. I mean, around the fundamental of the snare and go up. No side chain, no weird trick stuff. The mix kind of works. We don't need to pump it up for now. Let's see where this goes.
Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly,
They
sting like
tryna
a
knock
bee.
me out.
Flow like a butterfly,
Alright,
flow.
well, now we need something else here. Not this loop. Maybe this loop.
Ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you got.
So no parallel compression when the red M is on, and when we turn it on, it turns on itself on.
Ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt's so easy, you'll be giving up.
I can guarantee you this might be all we need to bring the drums to be heard. It's a 3-to-1 compression ratio. It's 3 milliseconds attack, 100 milliseconds release. I didn't put the numbers out of my head. I didn't even use the pre-filter, so we end up not using the compression thing and stuff. It's the it's the 33609 I have in the studio and how I usually use it for drums. The attack you cannot change on the unit. I think it's 3 milliseconds. If it's not, I don't care. It sounds fine at 3. The release I always keep at 100, and I keep the compression at 3-to-1, sometimes the 1.5 or something like that. So again, it reminds me I'm thinking about a compressor I have in the studio, that I know how it sounds, and I'm tuning the compressor on something that is close to there. Now, what I don't like is the cymbals. So we're not gonna use it here. We're gonna remove it. We're gonna put it on the single entries here of our drums. So we're gonna use it only on the skins, so to speak. Kicks, snares, claps, maybe hi-hat as well. I didn't mind the ride as well. The hit, maybe the hit no, and no cymbals.
Ain't losing hope, no, not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take.
And magically, we have no compression on the cymbals, and we do have compression on the skins. And this sounds better because it sounds better. One sound that for this masterclass I would really like as an approach to not touch is the piano. Just to anybody could touch it and make it better. Maybe I could make it better as well. I don't know. But I want to just leave this sort of preaching. You don't have to touch everything. You don't. So I don't hear a problem with the piano. I don't touch it. Let's see if the hit I don't want to change. It's a bit sharp to me in my headphones. It's not obnoxiously sharp, but it's a little bit sharp. But I know these headphones, they are not dull. So it's not gonna be extremely sharp. And the second thing is hip hop is usually a little bit too sharp than I like. A little bit on the sharper edge kind of side. So I'm fine. I think it's appropriate to the sound. I like it how it is. What we're gonna do now is, let me see the strings. Yes, the string goes. I have no idea how to zoom in. Maybe, hold on. Ooh, shortcuts, people. Alberto knows them. Hold on. Yes. All right. I want to hear the strings. Strings are important. The guy is going to come and say, Alberto, you forgot the strings. The strings is the most important thing I've done in my life because I've composed them for like 2 minutes and it's 30 minutes. All right. We're going to take care of your strings. Let's do this. We're going to use a compressor for this as well, but we're not going to use the same compressor. We're going to use a different effect, but we need parallel compression. There's no way actually, if it's all 3 of them, we could use a single one, but I still want to have control of them. So, orc comp, time's getting short. Let's say I have 10 minutes and then we do the ruffle. Because obviously it's not finished. The mixes are never finished, you know? So what I want to do with this is, I want to take this guy again. So how do we do compression on classical music? Yes, they do compression on classical music. Sometimes they do something like 1.4. Look at how many gems I'm giving you today. Very open attack and very kind of short release. So we could even fly with an auto release. Let's try. So effects or comp. Let's color this guy. Let's go back here. So how about we mute it now? I can't mute it, so I lowered the volume here. I lowered the volume on the fader, okay? So when I lower it, it's without. It's louder, but it's also kind of fuller in a way. And now what I really like to do, some people are driven nuts by this thing I do. I like to take one section at a time. So drums, please. See if it works. In Pro Tools it does work. Oh, but here it doesn't. Why? Ah, because there's no drums. Oh, there's no drums. Okay.
Fly sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly. Sting like a bee. Flow
Okay.
like a butterfly.
Intro vocals, it's kinda
Fly sting like a bee.
stinging a little bit too
Fly
much.
sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly. Sting like
Man, this De-Esser, I should use it more. I'll call Colin and say, look, I've done an entire masterclass with your plugins.
fly sting.
Do giveaways for these as well.
Fly sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly. Sting like a bee. Flow like a butterfly.
So we can do this, right?
I flow like a butterfly. Sting like a bee.
Second thing I don't like. See, priorities. Now we're getting into the details. It's true. I don't want all of these vocals to be
Fly
this sharp.
sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly. Sting like a bee. Flow like a butterfly. Sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly. Sting like a bee.
Nice. A little bit less.
Fly sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly. Sting like a bee. Flow like a butterfly. Sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly. Sting like a bee.
Now, one thing they should have done, which you can do with plugins, they should be really in time together. So we would need to edit them and make them super tight. If you have a plugin called Vocaline, you can do that. Gems, people, gems. I don't have it here because it's Pro Tools only, I fear, but I have it in the studio. Sometimes I do use it for hip hop. It's amazing. If you don't have it, you're damned to just do it by hand. Cut, move, cut, move, cut, move.
Fly sting like a bee. I flow like a butterfly. Sting.
So this works. Let's go to the chorus. And let's try drums. Okay, drums and bass. No. Okay, piano, it sounds great. Okay. I would even make the drums a little bit louder. Okay. Let's try this. Let's know.
Them to hate when you be going this hard, it's funny. I tell them all you can meet me in hell itching. Get you on the phone and start talking like Mel Gibson. Knock me out, I think that's rare in my sport. Use a gangster that's just trying to whip his head.
And that's the magic. Now we forget we have the single tracks. I heard it, boom, problem popped up. Maybe I like a little bit more body in the vocals. Group of them, 1 EQ, what is it, 230, up. I know these headphones kind of cut a little bit at 200, so when I go back in the studio, I go like, oh, no, it's too much. But if it's on drums, I hate it. On vocals, kind of.
Fire proceed to get my skunk on. Niggas be quick to hate because they need a dick to jump on. I'm in my zone, banging Marley all alone. While bitches hit me with ass, trying to get me out my home. And got a problem cause lately I try to overspin. To block out all the bullshit I put no focus in. Call Bobby cause Philly spitting.
I'm using different things, like I'm checking drums with keys with piano. So we go here, for example, let's take the loop out.
Gangster that's just trying to whip his head.
Okay, bass. Bass is a thing that I wouldn't really touch that much. You know why? Because maybe it just needs a little bit of distortion. Do you guys remember Camel Crusher? It's no longer available. I'm not gonna use it. I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna try and use Fuzzbox. I hope it works. Ooh, yes. So we're gonna keep Fuzzbox at 50%, and we're gonna make a bass sound that has a little bit more harmonic content. Saturation. Here you can pick all of the weird things. I'm gonna try and take radios. All right. Nah, it needs to really be duplicated. So this is gonna work, but not in a single track. All right, bass. I kinda like the bass as it is. I gotta say, I don't really have an issue with the bass, but we're gonna duplicate this guy with two bass two. So now we have two, and we're gonna put not Fuzzbox, but do I have, what was the other guy called? I don't have it here. It was, I have it at the studio, okay? Because this is the native bundle I have here. So let's go with Presonus because they have Umpire. Definitely they're not gonna like us putting this stuff on. So we have this. So I'm mixing the two together. And it's so, the frequencies are so low. Let's see how it works.
Your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt's so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me. Now
I usually, in these kind of songs, I usually take it out and hear like, does it work? Can I hear it? Does it not work? And this module has something cool. It's an opto thing, the L2. And I think we just need this guy.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count.
I thought it, okay.
My back's
Turn stuff on, people.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle.
No bass.
I ain't giving up, this belt's so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me. Knock out.
So what we did is we just opened a new track and we have a different bass here. And this bass is basically centered, super mono. The good thing that they did is send a mono bass. We could check the drums with we have 4 minutes. Camel Crusher is amazing. I have it because I got it, I don't know how or when, but it's still VST32. I don't remember. Maybe it is, so it won't even work here. I have no idea. No, but maybe if it's easy, then it works. It's for synthesizers, it's great. Camel Audio used to, I don't even know if they're active anymore. They used to make the best plugs for some, approaches. So what I do in these records, every record is, okay, who is gonna rule in the low end? Bass or drum or kick? This time I say bass. So we're gonna take the kick and just not do anything with it. That's it. That's okay. I still like
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no.
Okay.
Not going.
Maybe simple things go a long way. Let's go with more of a SSL kind of approach, right? So I think we have a module for an EQ. This is a very cool, super cool plug. British E. This is kind of a Navy thing, I think. So who's the SSL of these people? Nobody. Well, they're all weird names. All right, let's use this. The plugin is the 6050 Ultimate Channel Strip, and it's made by Mac DSP, so it's still Mac DSP all the time. Hello? We're almost done. Yes. This is gonna be left for posterity. So we can make it a little bit stronger. Something like this. Ah, right. It was sold to Apple. That's true. So,
Against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. be giving up before you.
So kind of sharp, but I like it. What I would defer to the studio is the lows. I really don't know how these, you know, might sound or not. The synthesizers we haven't touched, and then we're done.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that.
Okay, maybe the orchestra has a little bit too many lows. No problem. We do this. We don't need these lows. It's making it worse, I know, but this also we don't need. Cleaner, much cleaner. Lighter in a way.
Giving up this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me.
Okay, since we're gonna treat just with the simple channel, let's try and use these, the same channel strip, and use these two guys that they actually have by default.
My back's against the ropes and
So I like it, but we have to sacrifice something around. So let's first compress it. Hear how the lows are building up, right? So we invert these. This we don't want. 200 also is kind of an area where I don't think we need these. See, we can cut. 600 maybe. Without. Not too much here. See, too many lows. I really think we don't need to do that much, but this is kind of stabilizing. So let's try bass. Without. We're gaining gain. A lot less lows.
enough before you see me knocked out.
Okay, this vocal, it could use a little bit less of the mids. I'm gonna use the same.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me knocked out.
Okay.
I eat these beats, you probably think it's lunchtime. Soon as I spit, I bet you wonder why he's unsigned.
You see, without the keys, the vocal, the lows are like, oh my god, this is horrible. And when you bring in the keys, the context kind of gives it away.
My back's against.
So we were here.
I bet you wonder why he's unsigned. The Holyfield of rap, see how I throw these punchlines. But while you biting like Tyson, I'm still holding the crown. Plus I'm raping the game. That's why I'm.
Hold on, I have a wrong one.
I bet you
here.
wonder why he.
Who am I? LDV4. LDV4?
I bet.
Yeah, that's obviously wrong. He's on the LDV3.
I bet you wonder why he's unsigned. The Holyfield of rap, see how I throw these punchlines. But while you biting like Tyson, I'm still holding the crown. Plus I'm raping.
See, this thing I had here, I really don't like it for the other vocals. So I was like, what is going on? And this is it.
I bet you wonder why he's unsigned. The Holyfield of rap, see how I throw these punchlines. But while you biting like Tyson, I'm still holding.
All right.
Up with this new shit.
It'll take more.
Here.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give
Little bit less here, and then we're done. We're gonna do some mix busing.
my back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at.
Here we could do this. We can put a multi-channel compressor, the ML, the SPC, this guy here, 303. We just take the top part and we compress it.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no.
Actually, this is parallel. Hold on. Where was their multi-band compressor? MC 404? No. ML 8000? Oh, I don't have it here. Horrible. Just horrible. I was expecting to have this, but I don't. So I would do it with a multiband. Had I found one. Presonus, do you have a multiband compressor? Yes, it does.
My back's against the ropes.
So we need the part where they have these highs thing, because the vocals are here, to be compressing.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this belt's so easy. You'll be giving up before you see.
I have never used this, and I said, why not? Let's just let's just drag these things. It works.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going
This
down
is
for
too
the
full.
count. You can give me all
Too
you
balanced. I love it. I like the sound in solo better without, but
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle.
we're gonna do it this here as well, people.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop.
This is debatable, but I'll leave you with this doubt. I would do it. I usually do it with the C4 by waves. This also works amazingly well, I have to say. And why does this work from the backing vocals? Because it's borrowing the frequencies that we have to emphasize in the vocals against the instruments. So it's making it sound more pro or something. I think it's cool. Some people don't like it. Sometimes it's a little bit too much or not. But I think usually in hip hop we kind of stabilize that. We like it. So last thing.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't.
Here we're kind of pushing stuff around, right? We the red here is only indicating that we're here. We like how this sounds, but we want to go a bit farther than this. So let's try and use. We're gonna roll this. So let's try and use not Fire Presser. Let's try and use Fire Master. No, I don't want to rename it. I want to remove it. I'll take it out. Fire Master. This guy. So Fire Master is kind of, you use it, you try it, and it can do stuff that you like. There's kind of a cool set of presets, but what it's going to do is it's going to just give the master, the mix a little bit more vibe. So if you've used the UAD maximizer, it's kind of where it would, I shouldn't say that because they're like, this is much better. It is, they sound different. You know, I use both. But this is kind of cool. So you have a dry wet, you have an input output. This is what you're gonna be winning. So you better know how to use it. You can resize, you can type input, and you have bass, you have depth, and you have air, and you have color as well. So I usually go either for full and like a little bit of this processing, or I go like for tiny little bit of dry wet and a lot of processing usually. So let's try this and see where it goes with the init.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna.
Like a lot, right? That's clearly too much. So to help Davide get the same feeling of what we were doing, we're gonna do mix tool for a simple reason. I don't want to lower the gain here. Because this little bit of pumping of limiting that I have is making my sound. If I change these, I'm completely, you know the word. So we're not going to do it. We're going to use this and we're going to get like 6 dBs out, for example. And now we have a perfectly clean volume meter that is lowering the volume post limiter into this other guy here. So now,
my back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no.
This is without.
Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna.
Okay, in my opinion, the dry wet, this is too much. So let's try and find out something about these controls.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down.
The depth already hit it. I love it. Why do I keep it at 5.6, 5.5? Because when I do it on the UAD, I'm sorry, Jakub, for this, but he's the guy behind these plugins. I had to start from somewhere. So I had a reference from the maximizer that I like to use at around 0.6. So the first thing I did when I opened this up was like, all right, 0.6. And then when it's at 0.6, I just go like, boom, full depth, boom, full air, boom, full bass, boom, full color. Do I like what I hear? No, I don't use it. Do I like it? Yes, I use it. So the depth I really like in my headphones. So
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count.
let's try air.
You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs,
These I
it'll
don't like
take
that
more
much
than
for this
that.
because we already sharpened the hell out of everything. So in my opinion, it could be maybe at zero, nothing
My
color.
back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll
The color as well, I don't. If I put the mix tool, the other plugin don't have. If I don't use the mix tool, I have too much volume, and I could use the input. Obviously, I could write -6 here. I just like things to be at 0 in the mix. But if I wasn't using the mix bus, I just go like this. It's perfectly the same.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no.
-12.
Not going down for the count. You can
So what I'm looking for in this plugin is the low volume coherence of the mix, because when people will listen to this mix at low volume, I want it to be more exciting than the start. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lower the output of this guy to -12, keep this at -6, and everybody listen to this guy. So now the mix tool is off because it's clean, so we can use this. Let's listen to these at very low volume and find out if it's more interesting.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle. I ain't giving up, this felt so easy. You'll be giving up before you see me knocked out. Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to.
So now we have to go 0 effect.
My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope, no. Not going down for the count. You can give me all
0.
you got, but I ain't gonna stop at all. You can throw your hooks, your jabs, it'll take more than that to knock me off my hustle.
So I would settle it for like 0.2.
Giving up, this felt so easy. You'll be giving up.
I like the vocal, how it becomes like.
Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me.
Hear the vocal, the vocal.
The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that you know. You see, I came from nothing. Watch me turn to something. Can you feel the heat like the ring? Wasn't enough. The stakes are high for me. There ain't no stopping me. Watch me flow like
And we could use these here. We could use these here and defeat the mastering purpose, which is no mastering purpose. So 0.
Hear me, fear me, ain't no standing toe to toe. The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that you know. You see, I came from nothing. Watch me turn to something. Can
Awesome. Here, how it works on the lead LDV4, the females, rather than on the full mix, which is kind of like it at 0.2. But I think here it's more highlighting what the potential of these things are.
knocked out. Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me, fear me, ain't no standing toe to toe. The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that you know.
That's the one on the master.
Nothing, watch me turn to something. Can you feel the heat like the ring? Wasn't enough.
Without?
The stakes are high for me. There ain't no stopping me.
So now we're lower than we were before.
My back's against.
But again, we're going to use another limiter. How low? Oh, sorry. We're going to use another limiter. I want to copy it. I forgot how to use. Control, people. Control copy stuff. How loud are we here?
Knocked out. Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't
That's
like to lose.
that's a perfectly fine final mix level. I don't know how loud we are. We can check, I think, with some mix check. Presonus should make one. You should make one. Scope, maybe.
Knocked out.
Definitely not scope. Well, there has to be one. But here, this very final thing. So we had a limiter, like this we had every time we were mixing. And we were hitting it like this.
Knocked out. Ain't no telling what I'll do when you step right up to me. Remember, I don't like to lose. Hear me.
Do I turn it off? No. Was it loud? Yes, it was as loud as, not super loud in mastering or stuff, but it was making the limiter work. I am perfectly fine with that. We had it on all the single time. Every time we were mixing, this guy was on. So the next step is I took this plugin, I lowered it down -6 decibels, and then I started working. And I liked how it sounded. And yes, I was gaining some gain, but since the processing was not that loud, I kind of had, less volume. So I should have put +6 to go back to the level. I don't want to do it. There's no reason to do it because, it's pretty much the same level. We like how it sounds. We're bringing it back. And now we're still using one limiter, which I guarantee you, if it doesn't process anything, this guy is sounding perfectly transparent. So now we can pump it up if we would like to print something hotter.
The outcome's looking grim for you. I sure hope that you know. You see, I came from nothing. Watch me turn to something. Can you feel the heat like the ring? Wasn't enough? The stakes are high for me. There ain't no stopping me.
I like loud.
Watch me flow like a butterfly. Trying to knock me down. My back's against the ropes and I ain't losing hope. No, not going down for the count.
It's better than this. It's better than what we had with just the limiter. I like it better when we go through FireMaster and then we relimit again. If we want to make it louder, okay, we make it louder, but I would print it at around -6 peak, and the mastering engineer is just gonna do its thing and just bring it up. Why is this? The limiter is before, the limiter is after. It's just a matter of sound. We're hitting sometimes these little orange lights, so the sound is being glued in also by the ML4000. So if I lower it, it's gone, and I no longer have the same transient ratios and all that. So then we're lowering the volume, clean. That's the beauty of digital, processing that a little bit more bass, a little bit more air, depth, because in hip hop, I guarantee you they're gonna wanna have more bass, more air, sharper, and send it there, especially because they don't want the mastering engineer to be able to not have that. So they usually push stuff and like, man, you brother, just put it in, just go, because the guy, if he has a lot of air, he can't take it out. Some of these things are all being taught after. So this plugin, which you'll find on United Plugins, is the one plugin we're gonna do the raffle on. So to prove you that the raffle is authentic, we're gonna go to, let me think about how was that? It was giveaway something, random winner giveaway. Right? So we're gonna connect with Twitch. All right, and all you have to type in, hold on. All you have to type in, I will start amount of winners. How many people do we have? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're gonna do 2 licenses because it's too many of you, but not 1. All right, and we're gonna do 2. And then I'm going to do more giveaways that week. So this is everything. So you have to type !Fuseroom giveaway. I can change it if you want, but let's not do it. So !Fuseroom giveaway. Hold on. Don't do it now. Start giveaway. If you haven't done it, you have to follow the channel though. So first hit that heart follow button and then type !Fuseroom giveaway. All right, 2 people are gonna get these licenses. I'm gonna wait for all of you to do it, and if you don't do it, I don't know, I'll do it somehow. Do it. So, right, Fuseroom giveaway. Let's see if it works. Preben, it should be right. Why don't I see that working? Oh God, it should work. I'll type the message in. Why doesn't it work? It should. It should. I should see people coming in like this. You wrote this. Why doesn't it work? Man, entry 0. All right. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna take a hat, put your names in, and we're gonna do it old school. Man, I had these planned out. Should have worked. Hold on. Type it again. Restart giveaway. It should work. Come on. Channel name, Fuseroom, Twitch, amount of winners too. Everything's fine. All right. Type it in again. I'm going to get a piece of paper and I'm gonna do the little names in, and I'm gonna show them on the webcam. It's probably not gonna work. Paper, people. Old school as F. Here it is. So, I don't see you typing, so it probably doesn't work. Let's keep it like this, but we're gonna do it with the real stuff. So how many people are in here? So we have Aiton. We have Commander Root. I'm gonna abbreviate. We have Davide. Actually, it's better. We do it with paper. We have Electrical Longboard. Electrical Longboard. How did you come with these names? We have Hal W. Hallie W underscore. We have Judici Music. We have Lurks. We have Preben. Lurks 2x, yes, Preben Wolf. Alright, brought them here. Much better. I'm gonna take a pair of scissors. Hold on. Oh, they're here. Awesome. On the scissors. Alright. Man, this is fun to do by hand. Alright, so cut 1, cut 2, cut 3, cut 4, cut 5, cut 6, cut 8. All right. Electrical longboard, I don't want you to be longer than the other ones, so I'm gonna make your name go here. How do you come with these nicknames? It's weird. All right, here we go. 4. All right, so now we're gonna put them in 4. 1, 2. I need a hat. 3, 4. All right. 5, 6, 7. That's how it used to be when we were kids. And you could win a bicycle. You could win like a bag of cherries. That stuff. So, all right. Did it work for some reason? Yeah, it doesn't. All right. So the names are all here. Gonna go get a hat. To be fair with you, everybody. Oh no, I have it. Man, I have everything in this room. Why do I keep leaving? Look at this. Look at this. I have some screwdriver stuff. I'm gonna do it this way. Boom. That's a lot of screwdrivers. All right, bag. I mean, this is like the perfect raffle thing. Look at this. I'm gonna put the names in here. I'm gonna close it. Hear the shaking. There we go. So, now looking. We have the first name. And we have the second name. I'm gonna put the others here. The first name is Commander Root. People, Commander Root, write me your email on, I'll give you my email here. Write me, Alberto@fuseroom.com. Write me an email with your name, last name, and the email address that you want the license to be sent to. The second guy is Preben. I can't believe this guy. He's so lucky. He's also lucky because he has a great band. So, Preben Wolf, 1. Now, next week, we're going to do something else with another raffle stuff. So, just you people stay home. Send me an email. I have Preben's email as well. Just to make sure that we have all the names. Show you that everybody's in here. I know you trust me, but just better be clear. So the other names were Lurks, right on. The other name was Aiton. My camera has trouble focusing, but you can see that. The other name was Davide Pepa. The other name was Judici Music. I'm looking at it backwards. Judici Music. The other name was Electrical Longboard. It's a cool nickname, Electrical Longboard. And obviously I didn't put myself. And then we have Haliv with an underscore and my mistake on the I that I fixed. So, all right, send me an email and I'll send you the license. I mean, you'll get in touch with the guy who is administering the company, and he'll send you the license. It's a VST2 3 AAX, so it works if you have Pro Tools. It works if you have everything. There's no reason not to use it. I have some mastering presets that I've done sarcastically that kind of work with the dry wet is at 0.5 and there's just a little bit of depth and it just makes the mid side kind of thicker in a way. So I think it's on sale. If it's not on sale, sometimes it goes on sale. And it's not that expensive and it's a great plugin and it's in a collection of stuff that these guys do. And like you saw Verbum was that thing we used for the cold dressing room kind of thing. So thank you very much for being here. 4, 5, 6, 7.5 people. This is 3 hours and a half of your life spent mixing Knockout by the amazing band Merc. And it's a great song. You saw me almost cry in the metaphors of how we mixed it. That's amazing. And I really, really like this song. And when I found out about it, I was like, I'm going to mix a hip-hop song. So I hope that was fun. You're going to have this offline that you can watch and stuff. So cherish it. Watch it again so you get all my jokes and references, which you already did. Thank you very much for being here. And that's one-to-one what I would do in the box or with Outboard for a mix, And it doesn't differ that much if it's rock or if it's hip-hop. It's the remember the fundamentals. I don't want you to go out and buy my plugins. I don't want you to go out and buy anything just because you have to buy anything. What I want to stick every time we do, this is what Fuseroom does, is you have the rule, you have the algorithm to think and do that. Hate my mix, do it better than me. That's gonna be awesome. Do it like a mixture of somebody else. Just remember the principles, be curious, try your own stuff. And some of these things, I guarantee you, they will stick with you, and you're gonna make them better than I can, because you're gonna go like, yes, this is what Alberto did, but this is gonna be better than before. All right, we have Mr. Going Campbell. Hello there. Hello. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna shut it down here. Have fun, and I'm gonna send you the link, or you're gonna find the link here on Twitch, or I think on the Fuseroom channel I'm gonna put this masterclass afterwards. So take great care and stay safe. We'll keep each other updated. Have fun wherever you are. Keep your others safe, and go to dinner, because that's what I'm gonna do for sure. Bye bye, people. It was great having you. Until next time. Ciao.